Welcome back to the Slanted Attic Experience. I'm your host, Tyler, and this is episode 66. The sports room is back for its 9th installment, and we have a new face in the building today. Liam and Graham are back, and Jack is joining the sports room for the very first time, bringing his Jets optimism and his Nationals patience with him, and trust me, that combo makes for some great conversation. We open up with recent NHL news and the Stanley Cup final before the World Cup takes over the whole conversation. Crazy moments from before the semifinals, how the ball actually changes for each tournament, Liam's firsthand experience watching France versus Iraq at Lincoln Financial Field, and ticket scalping prices that will make your jaw drop. MLB gets its moment with the All-Star Game, whether any modern pitcher can realistically reach 300 wins, the Nationals rotation, the Phillies so far this season, and a room that is fully united in its feelings about the New York Mets. The salary cap debate and a potential lockout set up the NFL block, where we get into early season expectations, teams taking a step up or a step back, Mike Tomlin drama, the Steelers' outlook, young quarterback development across the league, and way too early fantasy football top 5 picks close things out. Let's get into it. All right, fellas. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Sports Room number 9. We've got a special guest joining us in the studio today, along with the 2 normal fellas that are here each and every week, in and out, talking about sports, learning. I'm getting more learned from this experience. Obviously, I know jack shit about soccer, so having these guys on is fantastic, at least for that sport. I can tell Graham about baseball a little bit, so that's where I get my fix. But we're happy to welcome Jack this week. It's his first podcast. Why don't you introduce yourself just for a hot second, and then we'll get rolling with some NHL stuff.
So everybody, I'm Jack. I'm excited to talk about sports. I haven't talked about ball in a while, so I'm excited to talk about baseball, football, all that. My full-time job's been watching the World Cup game, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so Jack is a good little ideology into some sports teams that we don't really talk about quite as much. Obviously, Graham, you live in the DC area, so you're seeing the Nationals, which Jack is a fan of. But we get to you guys are AFC East, correct?
Yeah.
In the New York Jets. So I think that'll be a fun fandom, fun guy to have on here. That's different than what we usually talk about. So, Liam, why don't you take it away with what you were talking about, big news in the NHL, and then we'll let Graham talk about his hometown Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, for sure. I guess like the bigger picture in the NHL is it's becoming like increasingly harder to get like a star player in free agency. It basically just like doesn't happen anymore. So you're either trading like ridiculous assets or hoping to tank and get a player for the most part. And the Flyers specifically are very stuck in kind of this like they never went full rebuild, which I was begging for, honestly, but so they tried to stay competitive, and now they're just super mediocre. And like we went out on a nice little run and made the playoffs and won a series, and everyone feels great. But like if you actually watch the hockey and then like watch the Flyers and watch the Stanley Cup final, they're nowhere close to like a Stanley Cup championship team. So in the NHL, you can offer a restricted free agent and offer sheet. They have to sign it. So they offered Leo Carlsson on Anaheim like a huge offer sheet, making him the highest paid player in the league. It was a 5-year, $90 million contract, and he was getting $18 million a year. He signed it. So then the Ducks have a week to match. And if they don't match it, he goes to the Flyers, and you have to give compensation for it. So it would be 4 first-round picks, and then they'd be making him the highest player in the league.
Wow. So not only do they have to fork over cash, they also have to give compensatory picks for that. That's interesting. I wish like football and baseball, or not baseball, football and basketball had more of that.
It's interesting. So then the Ducks were basically just silent for an entire week. But before the offseason started, their GM, Pat Verbeek, said he'll match any offer sheet that is given. So basically the Flyers are saying this is the only way we're going to be able to get like a star player that young. He's 21 years old. They also like framed the whole deal to kind of try and put Anaheim in a really tight cap situation because they're really, really young. Like they still have to sign a couple players, Cutter Gauthier being one of them. It was also like a $19 million bonus. All his pay was up front because they were trying to make it like specifically cap tight for Anaheim. Everyone thought they were going to match, and they did match. Like they should match it.
Right.
It was kind of a bummer for the Flyers to not get him, but it also is interesting because like GMs don't really do it, but I feel like it's going to start becoming more the norm because it's going to be like the only way to, get things moving. Then I guess too, people are also saying like for the Flyers front office, it just shows that they're like serious, you know,
Right.
like it might attract other players. Hey, we're willing to give this guy the biggest contract in the league. Like, why don't you want to come play for us? Like, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to me that you can offer somebody and then the team has a week just to wait, and it's interesting.
Yeah, that's so interesting comparatively to, obviously we talk a lot about the NFL and NBA and the draft cycle and everything with that, and the whole lottery system just got changed in the NBA. How is that with the NHL? I'm like literally not familiar at all with how they draft players and stuff like that. Is it lottery system? Is it, the worst team gets the first pick?
Yeah, there's a lottery, so that's the other risk. You could be the worst team and then just like not even get the first pick. Like the Maple Leafs just got gifted the first pick. Um,
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. Well, very fun. Yeah, obviously a big NHL year for Graham and his people down south. Graham, have you been home recently? Have people been excited about this the Stanley Cup championship? Like, what's going on? What's the energy like in would you call it, the triangle, the Tech Triangle? Because that's where you live. But I mean, obviously the team's based out of
Toronto baby.
Yeah, the triangle. So teams based out of Raleigh, but it's really like the team is Carolina Hurricanes. So
Right.
it's the only sports team in that triangle area professionally. Everything else is college.
Yep.
Durham Bulls.
College kind of dominates. Yep.
Greensboro
Durham
Grasshoppers.
Bulls. Yeah. But in terms of hockey, so the team originally was in Hartford. The Hartford Whalers moved down about, I think, 30 years ago now. And people from Connecticut are still a little salty about that. And
Sure.
I'll give it to them because it was their up there. But come down and they win their first Stanley Cup in 2006. Little fun fact. So first Stanley team installed that team, and now his brother is on the 2026 Stanley Cup winning team and won the Conn Smythe Trophy as the oldest player ever to win the award at 37. So pretty cool
Wow.
there.
Wow, that's good. That was gonna be my next question. You're like, it's 20 years apart. I was like, how old is this dude if they're brothers? That's crazy, dude. Winning a Stanley Cup at 37, I feel like is wild.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
Bold.
their goalkeeper for pretty much all the playoffs up until the Stanley Cup, Freddie Anderson. He's 36. He's moving on now. Looks like
Sure.
Brandon Boosie's going to take over that spot. But Freddie Anderson played most of the playoffs, and then they had a goalie switch in the Stanley Cup, which was interesting. But they did a thing in the 2006 Stanley Cup when they won it that year. And also the captain of that Stanley Cup team in 2006 was Rod Brendamore, who's now the coach. So
That's wild.
it's a lot of similarities from the two teams.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I haven't been down there since the parade and all that, but I've talked to some people who were down there, and I was actually at a Nats game last night with a bunch of people from Cary, and they were saying, they went to the parade. It was crazy. There were people camping out like 4 a.m. the night before, just to be able to get there in position.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun atmosphere. I wish I could have gone to one of the games. My brother went to one of the Stanley Cup playoff games. I think it was the first or second round. But then
That's cool.
they just, I mean, they were dominating. They were just totally dominant. There wasn't a single series that it felt like I was a little worried with the Flyer series, but they really took care of business in that Flyer
He
series.
scored 4 goals.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No, they're so good.
I think the last podcast we were on, I was saying like because they were about to play each other, I was like,
Yep.
I don't know about because it feels like conference semis, conference finals, they always trip up before they get. They've been in this position before,
Yeah.
but this year was just completely different. So
Yeah, took it away.
Did you go to the parade or no?
no, I didn't go.
I bet it was
But I
wild.
wish, yeah,
Next year.
That's right.
yeah, exactly. If they go back to back, although that does not happen in hockey, like ever. So
The
I would be
goaltending
surprised.
situation is crazy to me. He just
Yeah.
like slid right in and played great against Vegas.
Yeah.
Cam Ward did the same thing. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think I forget who the original keeper was in that 2006 Stanley Cup. It was like Martin Gerber, I think, maybe.
I couldn't tell you.
But yeah, you're right. Cam Ward stepped in. He stepped in a little earlier in the playoffs. I don't think it was
Yeah.
the finals when he stepped in, but yeah.
You know what? That's a great segue to. I forget there was a the World Cup penalty shootout game where they swapped keepers for the penalty kicks. What game was that? Did you guys watch that one?
This year,
Yes. This was like 2 weeks ago.
I did. I forget what game it was. There's a famous one with the Netherlands where they subbed in Tim Krul and he came in and won the PK shootout.
Yeah.
I think it was
I think that
Australia. It was
Yeah, you're right. They
Oh, yeah.
subbed in Matty Ryan as the goalie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I that's a little bit questionable to me.
Yeah, I
Like
don't know
you
about
got a guy that's playing spectacularly for 120 minutes at that point because they went through the extra time and then you pull the guy for penalty kicks, penalty shootout. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he's hot. Like he's ready. Like that's what they did yesterday. They pulled or I guess the goalie got hurt for what team was it? Belgium, and then the new goalie gave a goal immediately.
Brutal.
Like
Yeah. Well, you're not pulling Courtois. I think he just got hurt, and
yeah,
because Courtois, I would say he's the best goalie in the world, um, or one of the best. So
Is he
it
the
was unfortunate the
Manchester
way
City?
no, he plays for Real Madrid.
Real
Um,
Madrid, okay.
Yeah, the guy that came in, Lamens, he actually like this was his first year at Man United this last season. He played really well for them. So he's not like prone to mistakes, and that was just kind of a one-off thing. It
Yeah.
took a weird bounce. He wasn't able to get up, and it just ended up, unfortunate the way it happened. But Mikel Marino,
Yeah, the one that bounced
clutch
off of his
again.
chest.
Mhm.
You're talking about that goal that it bounced off
Yeah.
like his chest. Yeah, dude, that's just tough. I mean, like
Yeah.
when a ball's coming in at you like 70 miles an hour, like obviously these guys are so good to be able to just snag it.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit like that happens. And I don't know if you guys saw the slow mo. Of course, it's easy to break everything down. I'm sure we'll talk about like what's his face from the US's red card and all that stuff, and how easy it is with the VAR to kind of see like frame by frame, and then you can be super hypercritical, whatever. But like, man, when it's coming into you that fast, I saw the one of the defenders kind of pull up because he thought he got it. And I feel like he had a little bit extra of a break that he could have came in and just, made a touch to the outside or something like that. Regardless, I did want to touch on a little bit of the last podcast that we talked about the World Cup before it had started. I want to tell you guys all three of my bets are still open. So that I made during the last podcast, and we have a chance to win them. So just want to throw that out there. Whatever advice you gave me back then seemed to be pretty good. So if you guys made it this far in the podcast, go give that one a listen. It's number 57, I want to say, somewhere around there. Graham and Liam gave me great betting advice on the FIFA World Cup, so I will say that.
What we do.
I think we just told you to bet France, Spain, and England.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
Mbappe and Messi are going to score a bunch of goals in Holland.
Yeah.
It worked out. Man. It
Yeah.
worked out.
I
All right,
would
so
not have I would not have
go
expected
ahead.
them to score this many goals.
No.
Right.
So
Have you
it
heard
feels like
people?
everybody.
Have you heard them talking about the ball? How they think it's harder for goalies? Have you seen the? I think like Joe Hart was talking about it.
Interesting.
They're
There's
saying
like
it's like it's got less panels than a normal ball, and then it also has like this sensor and all this tech in it. So I don't know. They're just saying it's like flying differently in the air.
what, dude? How is this not like a regulated thing? Like that's why Deflategate was such a big deal in the NFL because everything is like it's to a specification of
Yeah.
the ball, right? Like that's weird to me.
No, they get a new
Yeah, well
ball.
the ball is for every World Cup. Like I think it was 2010 South Africa.
Yeah,
They
the
had I
Jubilant.
don't remember the yeah, the Jubilant. The ball was it was just weirdly shaped. So the aerodynamics when you would hit it, it made
Sure.
it really goalies because it wouldn't like naturally curve the way it's supposed
The
to.
knuckle.
It would
Right.
knuckleball, yeah. So it made it really
Yeah.
difficult for goalies. And I feel like that's something that you need to make consistent. I don't know why you have a different ball for the
What
World
other
Cup.
sport
Just use
changes it like that? Is there
the
any?
same
Like
ball
because
that you
everything
use.
else has a conforming like
No.
statistic that you have to be within. Baseball, tennis, uh golf, football. I'm trying to think of any sport where you can change the size and shape of the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Is
Like
I
in
mean,
baseball, year to year, they change the balls they use.
yeah, they change the composition and stuff like that, but my point being it's still flat across the board. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they use everywhere the entire season and for like the World Series and everything. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
the
I don't
playoffs don't roll around and they like put thicker seams on there so the pitchers are just whipping the ball. Like they don't do that.
right,
Yeah.
which
I
makes
don't
sense.
mind more goals
But I
though.
think part of yeah, I don't mind more goals. I think part of the issue though is that it's different organizations. Like you have UEFA that does Champions League, and then FIFA is responsible for the different like leagues in the countries that have their own organizations. So they all use like a different standardized ball.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess maybe that's why we're seeing more goals this year. All right, so let's go over a general breakdown. I know Jack, you said you've watched a bunch. I did watch a bunch of the pool and like playing games as well. Um, I'm pissed at FIFA and the scheduling organization. Of course, like now that we're on like the quarterfinals, like the games are like 3 p.m. I'm like, dude, I'm at the office. Like, could we not do it at 5 or 6 p.m.? Like, come on, the general population is probably doing something, you know what I mean? So, a little peeved at that. Obviously, I can't control the scheduling times, but I caught a ton of
Well,
games early on, um, which I liked.
to
What, you gonna
that I
talk
would
about like them and shit?
well no, to that I would say that they're they're playing to a world audience. So if
Right.
you have it at 8 p.m., the European audience, it's going to be like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning that they're having to watch the games. So if you have
Can't they watch
it a
it at
little
10
earlier, it
p.m.?
makes it a little easier to watch.
Because I think what France and Spain are 5 hours, London are 5 hours
Yeah.
Yeah.
ahead. So a 5 p.m. start time would be 10 p.m. for them. So I guess I get the 3 p.m. But like, dude,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. All right. All right, let's go around. We'll kind of give our maybe not like hot takes, but things we've noticed so far in the World Cup, and then we'll kind of get to the remaining teams and we'll talk about that because there are 2 games today. Jack, why don't you start us off because it's been your full-time job? Let us know what you think. These guys can probably fill in a lot more information than I can.
Yeah.
So
I'm such a casual soccer fan.
me too.
I come out of hibernation every 4 years, but I feel like I don't watch a lot of soccer, but I feel like the skill gap, like for the big teams like France, of course, Spain, like they're gonna beat any small team, but I feel like Cape Verde almost beat Argentina. Like I feel like these small teams, maybe I don't know if they're just playing for more because it's bigger in their country or like because they're so small, but I feel like the skill gap's not like it's not that big, like with normal countries. Like I don't know. I was cool to see like these these small countries really staying in the games. Like there were good games going down to like the last minute, and I
Right.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that as well. Like games that I didn't think would be even remotely close. Even the Spain Belgium game, I thought
Yeah.
Spain would be up probably 2 nothing. Maybe Belgium scores, to make it competitive. But I figured they'd be up by a goal or two the
Mhm.
entire game, and that was not the case. But been interesting for sure this year. You guys know a lot more about like the actual players and everything like that. There's been a couple injuries. Obviously, the most notable for the U.S. fans out here is Pulisic fractured his leg or whatever. Didn't I don't know that would have made any sort of
I don't
difference.
think so.
We got outplayed like extremely in that game, and we had talked about that. I think both our takes on United States and Mexico were that they could not easily, but they could get into the knockout stage and they would have difficulty, but a possibility of reaching the quarterfinals. And we saw that to be fairly accurate as it played out.
Yeah. I feel like the group stage was great.
Yes,
Mm.
fantastic. Saw a lot of good games, I feel like.
I
A
do
lot.
think the world is catching up a little bit to some of these countries. Like you're saying, I don't think the skill gap is as big. But I think that's one thing that makes like soccer at least interesting is you can like tactically set yourself up to stay in the game even if you're not like at that talent level.
Right.
But like Cabo Verde, like they're legit. Like that was like they had a squad and they were playing. Um, like I would have loved for them to beat Argentina. That would have been awesome.
That
But
would be
That would have been crazy.
that
Well,
would
and
have
it's
been so
not. I love a lot of these teams. It's not like they're sitting back.
yeah.
Except for Paraguay. Paraguay was just playing haram ball, if you know that term. Um, but they were clearly, trying to just stay in the game. But for the most part, like the DR Congo played England, Cape Verde, like a lot of these lower like teams that aren't really on the world stage like that and aren't like a superpower team. They very much were trying to be on the forefront. Obviously, they were giving more possession to the other team, but it wasn't like they were just sitting back, hoping for like a 0-0 draw and then taking it to penalties. Like they were trying to win the games. They were playing to win, not playing to draw and take it to PKs, which I think we've seen a lot in the past from teams where it's just if you're not at the same level, then you're just not going to play with them and you're just going to try and play for a close result, maybe try and get like a late goal or something like that.
Right.
But I think having that, it makes it more enjoyable to watch as well. Like I thought the Cape Verde Argentina game was one of the best games of the World Cup so far.
Fantastic.
It was
The
fantastic.
the was it Brazil Argentina was unbelievable too. I don't know if y'all saw that one. That was a 3 p.m.er, I think, or like a nooner.
Brazil, Norway. Was it?
No. Maybe Argentina, Colombia, something like that. It was. I thought. Hold on, I'll look it up. But it was one game. It was on during the day, and um, oh man,
Oh,
what was it?
Egypt,
I think it
Egypt.
was Argentina, Egypt.
So
Right.
that
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
crazy
Oh,
Oh
game.
yeah, that
that
was
game was
chaos.
unreal.
Chaos. I
Yeah,
felt for
Egypt.
Egypt on that one.
Oh my
I
god,
felt
yeah.
for them. I even Egypt,
I was
like I can name probably two or three guys on Egypt,
I can name
and
zero.
yeah. So I mean, I know Mohamed Salah, Omar Marmoush, and then I think Trezeguet, but they stuck it to Argentina. They should have been up 3-0, not 2-0, but I
Yeah,
think
that one's tough. I
that
know people were complaining about Argentina's goal at the end, but I thought the reverse VAR of Egypt's third goal was even more outrageous or egregious than because I don't think that was a foul on the final possession or whatever where Argentina scored, but the overturn of Egypt's goal was much more controversial in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me because he kind of fouled him. This is where soccer has such like a gray line because you get touched there and don't fall down, and they went back and reviewed it. They probably don't call it a foul, but like your foot barely gets nicked, so you got to dive. But I just think it's crazy that that play goes all the way down the field and they overturn it. I mean, I know we have like reviews in football that happen, but it's not like the extra point is kicked and then the referee pops in and is like, "Oh, we got to review this.
Right.
No touchdown." Like, what do you mean? We just scored and celebrated. Like, I just don't know how you don't blow it dead. And then at a certain point, you got to let the referee call the game. Like, if the referee missed the foul, he missed the foul, and you got to like. I just don't know how you go that far back.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it's so much different
Agree. I
than
don't
our
think they're
American sports.
I think that's one of my issues with the referee. It's not it's difficult because you have one referee for the entire field. So he's not gonna have every call absolutely correct. But the amount of times that VAR is getting involved to affect decisions that the ref is making that have a huge impact on the game. I think that is a little controversial to a lot of people. Like we saw it with the U.S. game where Balogun got the red card. We saw it with the Belgium Senegal game, which I don't know if y'all saw that, but it was like the 120th minute, like pretty much the last kick of the game was a penalty. Um, that was pretty controversial. That wasn't called initially, and then they spent 5 minutes looking at it on VAR and ended up deciding that it was a penalty. So things like that where there's not necessarily a right or a wrong call, but I just think you should just let players play and let the ref kind of call the game based on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is an egregious call, like something that like, hey, you need to take this to VAR. Like the Mexico England game where the guy like came in studs up, struck the guy in the leg, like that was a clear red card. Like you look at it at the monitor, 2 seconds, you're like, okay, that's a red card. But stuff where it's a little like touchy, where it's a bang bang play.
Yeah.
The guy falls awkwardly. I don't think you should be taking that to VAR and making the ref have to make a decision on that.
Agree.
I think too in a sport like soccer, it's hard because one decision and like one goal is such a big deal. Like in basketball, you might get robbed of a call in the second quarter, but you still have 2 quarters to make it up. Like it's hard to score a goal. I have a problem with penalties in general. I just don't love them. I just think like it's such a hard sport to score, and you barely get touched in the box, and it's like, hey, here's a free goal essentially.
Well, and you can choose any player on your team to take the penalty, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's an absurd rule.
I agree.
Like I think whoever gets fouled should have to take either the free kick or the penalty kick. I think that's absolutely whack.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's like if you get fouled in basketball, and then it's like, okay, let's get our best shooter on the line.
Shaq gets fouled, but Kobe gets to shoot free throws, or somebody on their team that's a guard gets to shoot free throws for him. All of a sudden, you got Shaq, who's like a career 55% free throw shooter. He's now 80%, and you're picking up 25% average on free, points per game.
I mean, if I'm being honest though, that kind of rule would take away like the hack a Shaq, where you foul a team that has a guy with 4 shooting percentage. That's what a lot of teams used to do. So that would kind of take that away. But even still, if you can't make free throws, you can't make free throws.
I think they've figured that out by just technicals and like I don't know, the NBA. It's so hard to play defense nowadays. And so I feel like hack a Shack is not even quite a thing anymore. You couldn't hack the shit out of another guy because you just get teed up and thrown out at this point. They're so delicate with everything. But all right, let's go back to the World Cup since we've got a couple games today. What do y'all think? who do you think we'll see in the final? Obviously, huge game between Spain and France. Obviously, that's going to be the big game of the week. And honestly, like depending on who we see in the final, that might be the game of the tournament. Um, we've got Argentina, England still available, still in it, and then I believe Switzerland and Norway playing against those two teams. So, who do you guys got? Who do we see? Obviously, your predictions last time were pretty good, but I think it gets a little more difficult at this point.
It is. They definitely have the easier side of the bracket, England and Argentina.
Yep.
I cannot have England winning the World Cup on American soil on the 250th anniversary of our country. It just cannot happen. But I feel like they're kind of rolling right now, and they got through Azteca, which is that place is just absolutely bonkers, and that game was wild. So I kind of feel like that's like a almost get over the hump game for them, even though they've already been to like what a World Cup semifinal and a Euro final. So I think they beat Norway. Like I think Norway's got a solid team, but I think they just rely on Holland for like moments too much, and England's just better. And then I mean I think Argentina is just rolling. I'm not gonna say it's rigged for them, but it's awfully shady some of the calls they get. But I think it's gonna be an England Argentina semifinal. It's like France, Spain, England, Argentina. I guess going in, you'd probably say those were the four best teams in the world.
Those were the four teams you guys had me bet on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like I hope one of those teams, Norway or Switzerland, ends up winning, make it a little interesting. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be chalk. I find it interesting because we were talking about, you know, a lot of these lower level teams, like smaller countries, really making a big difference in this World Cup. But I think when it comes down to just the kind of the end of the road, depth is really important. And you get guys that are injured, guys coming in as subs, being able to have an impact. I feel like depth, just having the ability to got, you know, really with most other national teams as a sub to bring in a big impact. I mean, we with Spain, Moreno scored like 2 big goals coming on as up for Spain in the last 2 games. I think it just makes a big difference, and I I hope England doesn't win, but they started a little shaky, and I was thinking that, you know, it was tough for them. I was hoping Mexico could pull it off, but they weren't able to. Um,
Yeah, I see that as well. I mean, obviously, from a how do I put this? How do I put this eloquently? A non-soccer knowledge person, it's easy to say those teams because they're the highest on the world rankings. But like once you watch them play international games on a stage like this, you understand why they're the best teams and these are some of the best players in the world. Like these guys are just so unbelievable. And like even in the France Belgium game, like just France's ability to move the ball around the field and like they were always in the right position when the goalies had goal kicks to take a good header in the middle and just touch it to one of their guys. Like I feel like every circumstance they were just in the right spot, had the right touch, were moving it around. They just had so many more opportunities to create than maybe some of these other teams that don't have guys at the same skill level. Um, but yeah, I mean, like you guys were saying, anything could happen. And that's why we see some of these games with some of these lower or smaller country teams be so close, which is so interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the cool thing about tournaments too, because like every game is in essentially its own tournament. Like it's not just a season where you're playing and you know all these teams and scout them all the time. Like every game is its own thing. And I also think a big thing in like soccer is like playing with just like emotion and passion and like finding that. And you see these countries basically like I know like Argentina came back and they're all crying on the field, like, and they just won a World Cup. I mean, I could go on a whole U.S. men's national team rant, but like they like shrunk in the moment. Like I was embarrassed watching that game. I was just thinking, I wish it was in Philly and they were getting booed off the field. Like it was that bad.
Yeah.
And then you have these other countries like literally dying on the field. Like,
Yeah. Like literally
Yeah.
putting it all out there.
I guess we just don't love it. We don't love the game. I don't know. I think we're just gonna get a rematch of last World Cup. It's gonna be France, Argentina. I feel like Argentina's coming off a hot win. I don't like they're all like gelled together. They're like one person on the field. And I don't think anybody's beating France. I think France is gonna win it all. They just look so good.
they are.
Like
Their back team could probably make it to the final
Yeah.
of this World Cup as well. Like that's just how deep they are, and like the fact that Ryan Cherokee,
Doesn't even play.
Arcola, like a lot of these guys don't start, don't even play, is crazy.
I went and saw France, Iraq, and Philly, and like Mbappe is just insane. He's just so fast. And then like seeing him live, every time he gets the ball, it's just you can tell the entire field is staring at him and scared of what he's gonna do.
So you said you went to that game. What was the experience like? The stadium, was it like normal prices just without the advertisements of like all the NFL stuff there, like at the link, like similar food? Like what was the atmosphere like?
Yeah, it was obviously like there's only certain FIFA sponsors, so like all the like Lincoln Financial stuff and all the Eagles ads and all that kind of stuff. Or like the Eagles stuff wasn't covered, but like all their sponsors is all covered up. They were like selling other beers, not Michelob Ultra, but the ones that weren't sponsored, they would give you a Michelob Ultra cup and then put the can of beer in that. So I guess if you were like in your seat on TV, you would see Michelob Ultra instead of a different beer. It was about the same prices. I mean, they're gonna rob you blind, but
Yeah, sure.
and then like they have like Chickies and Pete's crab fries at the
Yeah,
stadium. They
Pete.
just they just called them like seasoned fries or whatever, and they were just in the white canister instead of like a labeled canister, which was funny.
Right. That is
But the game was awesome. Like both teams like traveled all right. There was actually a lot of Iraq fans. I was surprised how many of them there were. But we didn't have like a huge presence of either team, so it's not like it was like a crazy soccer atmosphere or anything like that. But it's just
Right.
like fun, you know. Everyone's in a good mood, hanging out. People from countries all over the world just like singing during the breaks and everything. We had a lightning delay at halftime, so it was like a 2 hour halftime, and everyone's just like hanging out on the concourse, getting beers, talking, dancing. Like it was just like really fun, and
Yeah.
it was cool to see, honestly.
Yeah, that is neat. Yeah, I really wanted to try to make that happen, especially in Philly. We were looking at tickets, but I just couldn't justify the price
Yeah,
with all that.
I said, whatever, I'll spend it once in a lifetime, maybe.
That's right. And
got to
you're
see
there
France.
too. You don't have to worry about travel and or lodging and all that
Yep.
shit, you know. And
They
that's
have
like
a free
Little
train
bit.
ride homes on SEPTA. It's free after the games, which was nice.
there we
Wow.
go. Should have went.
Yeah. How much were the tickets that you got, Liam?
I think it was like 800 a pop.
Wow, okay, that's cheaper than I was
That's
expecting, to be honest
that's
with you.
not bad, but that's a group stage game.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure if you're trying to get to one of these games now, it's
it was pricey.
2-3
thousands.
G's for upper level.
Still
Were
just-
those
Yeah.
nosebleed seats?
Yeah, I was up in the nosebleeds.
I
honestly-
heard the average ticket price for even group stage games was like $1,400 or $1,300, which is
Yeah,
insane.
I got like every ticket app on my phone, and like 3 times a day, I just checked every single one, and I would just go for every group stage game in the city.
Yeah. That is wild. Unbelievable. Do you guys know who regulates the ticket prices? Is it FIFA themselves, or does like Ticketmaster have a say in it, / like the field, like the stadiums?
Well, they regulate the like if you got them in the lottery. Like my cousins won some tickets in the lottery, and those are like, I guess not normal price, but like $250 to probably higher for suites and things like that. And then I think it's just straight up American resale market, and the tickets are just robbing people blind.
Wow. Graham, you might be muted, brother.
Sorry. It's
Yep.
it's the resellers. It's like
Scalpers.
scalpers. I think that surprised like Europeans and people not from America because they don't have that culture over there.
Yep.
So it's a lot different coming to America and you're like trying to get tickets and like you refresh and the ticket prices just keep going up because they just keep getting resold to other
Also,
people.
there's a scam. It's a scam. I swear.
It is.
Because you go on some of these sites, you'll see 4 entire rows in a row for sale. And it's just like you're telling me 400 people are all selling 2 tickets each. Like, come on, all the same exact price. Like, no.
Well, what happens, I can speak on this a little bit actually, with the Pokemon cards. I'm sure you guys can see them on my desk here, and we'll be releasing some episodes on that in the future, so I don't have to dive too far into it. But guys will use like Shopify bots and apps, and they'll go on to these lotteries and they'll spoof addresses, IP addresses, account names, passwords, phone numbers, emails, and they'll create 10,000 or 15,000 like bot accounts. They spam the queues for systems like this to get the lottery tickets. They win 400, just like Liam said, and then they list them all on Ticketmaster, StubHub, Vivid Seats, whatever. And this is the market that we've gotten to. And it's so bad that not even these guys are fucking everything over. Ticketmaster already is providing like a double 100% markup on ticket prices on top of the people that are trying to resell them after that. It's absolutely bonkers. I know it's very frowned upon in Europe. I don't know if it's illegal. I know in places like Japan, I think it is, and maybe like China, but I don't know if I think it's just very frowned upon.
I
Over there.
I might not be 100% correct, but like the way most like professional soccer teams have kind of like deals with their supporter groups about how much they can cost for tickets. But I know like Tottenham, they have like tiered games. So
Yeah.
it might be like a tier, I don't know what they call them, but like B game or an C game or an A game. And the tier A games are $90 a ticket. But if you can't go to that game, you can't resell it. You tell the club, "Hey, I can't go to that game," and then the club resells it at like face value or maybe a little bit more. I do think there is some scalping and things that happen, but you're not. They don't just have like a resale market where you're allowed to sell all your tickets.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's a lot like what it used to be in America, where you would just go to the box office. Like each team has their own box office where you buy the tickets from. So you're buying it individually from the team. Versus in America, we now have this culture where it's Ticketmaster. If you're going to concerts, it's Live Nation, like all these like third party services where you buy the tickets from. So the teams no longer like have a box office where you buy the tickets from. Um,
Yeah.
because that used to be how I would get like when we were younger, how we would get tickets. You
Yep.
go to the box office, see what seats were available, and buy the ticket. So, and that's kind of gone away with Ticketmaster, who pretty much has like those companies just have a monopoly over the entire system.
Yep. Just finding ways to dig more into the pockets.
My fees on my World Cup tickets, the total fees was $223.70.
That's nuts.
Like to do what? To like send me an email with a digital ticket? Like I don't get it.
Yeah. They're using all
Yeah,
their
they
AI.
put a lot of work in for that.
Exactly. That is unbelievable. All right, fellas. Any more World Cup kind of comments, concerns, thoughts before we move on to Major League Baseball? That's literally an all-star break.
Who's winning the Golden Boot?
Probably Mbappe.
I'd say Mbappe.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Gotta be.
He scores like 2 goals a game.
I mean, Messi's tied with him right now, right?
Yeah. And I think are they tied in terms of like most World Cup goals ever, or is Messi still?
And France
I
is playing
think
next
I think
game.
Messi has one more. I think he has 21 and he is 20.
Mbappe is gonna destroy that record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be the greatest World Cup player when it's
Mhm.
all said and done.
He has the most knockout goals already, I believe,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So Holland, Messi, and Mbappe all have 7 right now. But I mean, France
right
France
there.
is playing an additional game, right?
Yeah,
And
they're
Harry
getting ahead
has
of
6.
Argentina.
And they
Harry
can't
Kane
keep
could
at
win it too.
6, right? Yeah.
Harry Kane's the boy. He's so good.
I've never seen somebody look so English in my life.
Right, that's what we were saying.
No hate on him though. Hey, he's a
Dude's a
professional
baller.
soccer player and yeah, makes a ton of money. So
Did you see his interview after the Mexico game where he couldn't even talk?
no.
No, I
He had
didn't
like
see.
completely lost his voice in the celebrations, and they're like asking him all these questions, and he's like, "It's a really big win for the team." Like he can't say a word.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, fellas. Well, now it's the big time. Let's talk about Major League Baseball. Currently an All-Star break. A lot of controversy surrounding this year's All-Star game. Obviously, just because fan voting is still a thing, like people don't think the best players might necessarily be selected if they're a little bit less well known and maybe on some smaller market teams. Overall, we see some good guys, gearing up for it, and then we see another couple fantastic players that are not because they're pitching this Sunday for their respective teams, hoping to make a run at the wild card. Phillies are doing all right now. Pirates are literally 500. The Nats are doing okay right now too.
They rake.
But who knows, man? I took the under on the Pirates this year. I'm like kind of concerned it's not going to hit. I'm 2 for 2 the last 2 years, so hoping I can continue that streak. But yeah, baseball's been a little interesting this year. Pirates storyline, not a whole lot there. Connor Griffin's injured. O'Neal Cruz is injured. Jared Jones is returning from injury. Paul Skeens is not having that fantastic of a season. But it's his 3rd year. I mean,
Yeah.
you come to expect that, especially in a professional sports league. Like, guys finally have 10, 15, 20 at-bats against this guy, and they start to figure him out. So, I don't know. We're going to end up trading him in a year and a half anyway, so it doesn't
take him.
Yankee.
yeah, exactly. One thing I did want to highlight before we move on with more baseball. Richmond hometown Justin Verlander is retiring. Big news at the end of this season. He is by far the highest active pitcher on the WAR list. I think, geez, DeGrom's up there. Garrett Cole. There's like 3 guys within 20 WAR of Justin Verlander. 276 wins, I believe, 266. Nobody, I feel like, in our generation is going to reach the 300 club anymore with what we see with arms, pitch count reduction, or caps, limits, things of that nature. So just thought that was kind of notable. Best pitcher we've seen retire in the last couple years. And Grace and I were looking at his stats at the bar last night. I thought this was interesting. You guys might find this enjoyable. This was before you guys got there. But Verlander has only thrown like 2,900 innings in 23 seasons. Greg Maddux in 23 seasons pitched 5,600 innings, 27 complete games, and has like 350 fucking wins.
Yeah.
How unbelievable are those statistics? Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Those guys used to just throw their arm off.
Yeah, wow.
For 23 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the guy had surgery either. Like if you were looking at the statistics of like Hall of Fame pitchers during that time frame, the only one I think under 3,000 that's in the Hall is Pedro Martinez. And like the guy was
Peter Martinez.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
So like I thought that was something like super interesting. Like nobody's ever going to touch that. Maddox has the record for most complete games at 27. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
nobody's going to touch it.
Especially with the management they do of pitchers now, where it's like they're on a pitch count.
Can't stand the pitch count.
Yeah.
I get it.
think
Doesn't
the
matter.
only guy that like is current that might have a chance would be Yoshi, the guy from the Dodgers,
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, but he's already like in his late 20s.
I thought he was 30.
Is he in his 30s? Okay. Yeah, but regardless, he started too late.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to.
Right. And I
catch
mean,
up
like
with
at
that.
that point, even with modern sports science, physical therapy, like you could probably extend your career. I mean, we see it with LeBron. Obviously, he's an anomaly, but like I think, other than like maybe running backs and linemen in the NFL, like your career is probably extended by maybe half a year on average, if I had to guess, over the last 10 plus years, just because of science, longevity of the body, things of that nature. Obviously, I know the average NFL career is still extremely short, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah. Well, I would say more so than science, I think it's that athletes are taking better care of their bodies in general. I think they're more self-aware of what they need to do
yes,
to stay in shape and to stay at the top level of their sport. Um, and they have the resources to do that. Like you're saying, the science is there for them to take that step
right.
and do that.
Yeah, this is
So
the 80s where
it's the
Jordan
science, but it's also
beard.
the commitment of the players putting, like, some guys are putting millions of dollars in investing that into their bodies. Like Derrick Henry, for example, is in his 30s and is still a top level running back because he invests millions of dollars into his body every year, which is not normal for running backs. Most running backs, when they hit 30, or their career's pretty much over. Um, so the fact that he's been able to have this longevity and continue to be successful is impressive, and it's because of the science, because he's put that work into his body, and
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. We'll never see it again though in baseball. We'll never see
I think
guys.
guys throw so hard too, and
Yep.
the longevity is just not there when you're pumping 99 to 101 every other pitch. Like,
Yep. Roster
Yeah.
size, bullpen size
Mhm.
has increased over the years. Like you have the availability of more arms. You don't need a guy to go 7 innings every single game. You know what I mean? Like even in the World Series, we see it at year over year. Like they have specific pitching rotations or games where guys will throw like 2.5 innings like each, and then they'll swap it up to go against whatever the batting order is. They want to throw lefty lefty. They'll throw a guy for two batters if they have to. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
strategy is so different. The game's evolved a lot. I do like the rule changes they implemented in this. I think it was last year. The larger bases, the pitch clock. I thought that was an
Mhm.
interesting way to kind of get the ball rolling with modern baseball. But
Yeah, I agree. Well, I was at the Nats game last night. It
yeah,
was
let's talk about
Nats
that.
first.
Jack was watching that at the bar. Let's talk about that a
Yeah,
little.
so
Oh my god.
their starting pitcher gets pulled after the third inning after allowing only one run.
Yeah. Well.
It's things like that where I feel like a lot of it has to do, and Jack, you can touch in on this as well, but like the analytics is my
Yeah.
thoughts with, like, oh, well, a guy is projected, oh, he usually gives up runs starting in the fourth inning. So let's have him pitch 3 innings and then bring in a reliever to pitch and then continue it that way. So it's like all analytics driven and analytics based as well, where it's like you're projecting, okay, this is he can go about 3 innings and then this is where he starts to fall off.
Yeah. No. Like I know the Nats have made a big shift towards all this analytic stuff. So it's like,
Moneyball.
first of all, we don't have any pitchers to start with. Like we have maybe two serviceable starters, and so we're a big fan. I don't know what it's called, but we got a guy from the bullpen that goes out there and pitches like 2 innings and gets through like the first like lineup, and then our starter comes in and pitches as much as possible. Doesn't really work out for us, but
It's an
that's what we're
interesting
trying to
strategy.
do. Yeah,
It's an interesting strategy.
it is.
That
It
is a
is.
very interesting strategy. I didn't realize that that's what it was,
Yeah, like our
that that's
starter
what they were
comes in
doing.
third and then starts.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are they pulling him after the third
Mhm.
inning? Like,
Yeah.
that seems really odd, but that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
Sometimes it's just like the first inning to get past like the first three guys, and then the starter comes in. I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
I'm not sure the analytics behind it. Just
I
I don't
think
know.
a lot of times it'll be like first time through the order that team is hitting 200. Second time through the order, they're all hitting 350 off the guy. So then
Yeah.
you say, let's take him out. But I feel like that just leaves no feel for like the actual game of baseball. Like if he's rolling, just keep pitching him. Like
That's what like I think the Nats like we got a new manager and it's his first time and I think he's relying so much on analytics right now. He's ignoring like the feel of baseball. Like he's changing the lineup all the time, like not keeping our best players in, even though like you're not gonna take Bryce Harper out if he's slumping for a little bit. You know he has a chance to hit a home run any at bat.
Right.
So I think he's still learning how to do that. But I don't know. It seems to be working sometimes.
Talk about him a little bit. Is this his first time in a big league role? Like, what experience has he had before coming to the Nats? Do you know?
Yeah, he was with the Rays for a while. I don't know the exact role, but their analytics team. And then
I was gonna say they started the whole
yeah,
reliever starting the game. So
yeah, yeah. So like all our guys are from the Rays. I think he was a minor league manager. He won like manager of the year down there.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is his first like big league role as a manager. And I've liked him. Like I mean, we had the same we didn't make any free agency moves. And we had the same team from last year, the team that lost like 100 games and we're over 500. So clearly he's doing something right.
Yeah, something's happened.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy so far.
Right, and yet, like what we were talking last night, a couple contracts are coming due. You guys
Yeah.
don't really have any superstar players. I mean, C.J. Abrams kind of is teetering on that edge, but
Yeah.
like, really, what do you have? So, I mean, I'm honestly impressed with
Yeah.
the record
Yeah.
you guys have. To be totally fair, I mean, Phillies are the opposite story. I feel like you guys have all the star power, and y'all are kind of like floundering a little bit.
we're so top heavy right now is the problem. Um, they're just not a good baseball team either. Like the fundamentals they do so poorly, like so poorly. Their defense is terrible, but it's basically like Wheeler, Sanchez, or Lazardo is pitching. They have a shot to win. Any other game, they got no shot. Nola is cooked, unfortunately. But we're still good. They got heart. Schwarber is unbelievable. All he does is hit bombs. Like it's just a joy to watch.
What a good signing last
So
year.
good, dude. He's worth every penny too.
I was low-key worried
Probably
about
a good
that 'cause
year.
he's kind of into his career a little bit. Like this was his best season. He's going to demand a super large contract, and then like this happens a lot, and the guys kind of fall off the season after securing like money like that. They're like, okay, I played this massive season on my contract year. I'm going to get paid out. I'm going to regress a little bit the next year. But dude, he has been fantastic for you
He's
guys.
gonna hit 60 homers. I didn't think I would ever see another Phillies power hitter as good as Ryan Howard, and here we are. And he's like breaking Ryan Howard's records. And Brandon Marsh is having a monster year too. He's good.
Yeah.
Collected.
Yeah.
He just plays like he's. I feel like analytics have helped him with like his swing path and all that kind of stuff. But like he's just an old school hitter where he just sprays. It's an outside pitch. He just flicks it into left field for a base hit. Like hanging changeup, he just stays through it and puts it into center field for a double in the gap. He's like not trying to do too much. And I think it's like all coming together for him. It doesn't seem to me he's trying to be a launch angle, hit velocity kind of guy. Like he's just putting the ball in play and it's working out.
Yeah, I can't stand him. He pisses me off.
He's sick. He's such a chill dude. Yeah, I know the Nats hate the Phillies, but I do not care about the Washington Nationals at all. We just beat you and take over your ballpark every time we play there. So
I know. I mean, we are irrelevant. Like we finally became a watchable baseball team this
it's
year.
fun. I like seeing them do well. Honestly, it's nice.
Yeah, but I mean,
at the game last night, I would say it was like probably 60-40 Yankees fans, and that's being nice. It might have been even more than that.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough though.
It's
The
the
Yankees and the Dodgers are like the biggest bandwagon teams in
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Yankees fans in that area too. So yeah,
That Phillies Nats series was pretty wild.
Oh my God, we should have won every game.
Yep.
We should have swept you guys, but our bullpen, we need at least, I think, 8-run buffer going into the last 2 innings to win the game.
You're right.
Because we give up 4 in the 8th, and then we lose it in the 9th every single game. Yeah.
And we have Duran. If they didn't have Duran, the Phillies would be in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
our bullpen's a mess, and he comes in and just cleans everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
We all made a right move last year getting him.
He's filthy.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could do that. Just throw like 101 mile an hour four seamer and a 98 mile an hour splitter. Like,
Bro, both you and Graham are like 6'5". Well, Graham's taller than that. Liam, you're like 6'4", 6'5".
yeah, I'm
Graham
6'3".
6'7". Yo, y'all we just gotta work out every single day for the next 6 years and
Yeah.
train the arms, bro. I bet you we could get up to like 95 by then.
Yeah, I just need a couple innings out of the pen. That's
Right,
it.
might not be able to throw it anywhere close to the strike zone, but I bet you we could get our arm speed up there.
Yeah, just get me in there for an inning. I'll pitch. It'll probably be like I could go for a full season, and then after that, I'll probably be like they will have figured me out by now, because I'll only be able to have like 2 or 3 pitches. Like I probably could throw a fastball, could probably learn to do like a slider or something, but then that's all I would have in my
You just
bag.
gotta go Mariano Rivera and learn like 4 different cutters, and you'll be set.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Mariano Rivera. Damn.
But back to the All-Star game a little bit, Tyler.
Yeah.
I don't really mind the whole like fan voting. It's kind of like twofold for me. I think if you're gonna do it this way, you can't count the All-Star game for like people going to the Hall of Fame.
Right. Which
Like, that's the problem for me. If you're doing bonuses and career objectives and things like that, like you can't have some fan vote. Like Alec Baum and Bryson Stott were 2 of the top vote getters at second and third base, and they're having terrible seasons. And they're not all-stars, but like I just don't think you can have that affect someone's Hall of Fame like resume if you're gonna have fan voting. And if you are, you got to get rid of it. Like,
right. It's got to be one or the other. I agree.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, like, if you come into the league and you play 3 good seasons, you're gonna get at least 7 All-Stars because people just keep voting you. I feel like they just keep voting the same names over and over again. Like some of these players are not playing well at all, but they just know the name. So
Yeah.
3, give me
Kind of
3 good seasons.
It's kind of like biasy, like with the Pro Bowl too. Like that's same thing. It's just like, oh, this is a guy I know.
Yeah,
We're gonna vote him in the Pro Bowl.
Tyler Huntley.
should
Yeah, Well, and my thing too is like, Pro Bowl is distinctly different from All Pro. So I think we should go off of All Pro, because All Pro means you were the best in that position that year. Pro
Yes.
Bowl is like, okay, there's 4 or 5 guys ahead of you that were injured. There's a guy that's going to the Super Bowl that can't play, and you're just the next guy up. So you're not really at that level necessarily. It's more, I feel like, because Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl one year. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
That's right.
It's not a. I think Mitch Trubisky made the Pro Bowl. Like
Yes. Dude, Mitch Trubisky's my favorite. Mitch Trubisky. That man made me some money, man.
Yeah.
By throwing 2 interceptions.
That's what he does.
Yeah. What a time to be a Steelers fan. Let me tell you guys that.
Yeah.
What a time.
I think they
You
should
guys
go
have
off
some
of.
ability.
I was gonna say, I think they should go off of like Golden Gloves and
Sure, Silver
Yeah.
Sluggers, Golden Gloves,
Silver Sluggers, Golden Gloves, like
MVP,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
AL, NL MVP, all
Yeah.
not All-Star,
I
World
think they
Series.
started all MLB a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
You said they did or they should have?
I think they
They
did.
did. Yeah.
Interesting. That'll be a better metric. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I didn't understand the whole voting process. Was fan voting implemented recently, or has that been a thing for forever? Like, I didn't really understand that when we were younger watching
It's-
baseball. So
It's been a thing for a little bit now, I feel.
Do you remember like going to the game during All-Star time growing up, and they would have ballots, and you would like punch holes in it? And
I
then
remember like going
remember
to.
doing that.
we didn't
I
live near a
remember-
big stadium, so
I remember going to games like growing up. Obviously, I was by the Durham Bulls, but we would like whenever we traveled, we would go to a baseball game, and they would always be telling like, make sure you vote for your favorite all-stars on our team. So I think it's been a fan vote for quite a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
And like the not being able to pitch, and then you can't be an all-star too. That whole thing doesn't. I don't really understand it. Like I get it in terms of like the guy not being able to throw in the game, but like then you're not an all-star, and then like someone else is an all-star, and then they drop out, and then two more guys are named all-stars. It just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, they just next guy up type of deal. But what do we see? I mean, the AL is extremely weak right now. NL seems like it's basically rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the World Series winner at this point. Do we see a shift in that in the second half of the season after the All-Star break here? Do we continue to see the dominant teams kind of run the leaderboard? I think like what is it? Tampa Bay has the best record in the AL, and then like Atlanta's not too far behind, but they don't. I mean, they just do not look like that great of a baseball team. Tampa Bay okay, but
They're good.
Atlanta not really. Trying to think of who else.
No.
Yankees are hurt.
Yankees are all hurt right now. They're sliding.
Dodgers, of course.
Yeah.
The Brewers are pretty good.
Yeah, Milwaukee's good.
Yeah.
They just never win in the playoffs, so.
No.
Yeah, they kind of fizzled out. Yeah, Seattle was good last year. They took a downswing. Toronto, same thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
Vladdy's been terrible this year.
I
Yeah.
know.
Atlanta's good. I think Acuna might be hurt. The whole NL East is good, other than the Mets, which is awesome. But
That makes me smile.
Yeah, that's kind of a unanimous thing whenever I talk to baseball fans. If you're not a Mets fan, you kind of like to see their demise. Yeah, I mean, the reputation the organization has is a little bit questionable. So, that's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah,
and it's also like they're like the Yankees' little brother, and they try to be the Yankees, and they try to spend like the Yankees,
Yeah.
but they go on these massive spending sprees, bring all these players in, and then it just doesn't work out ever.
It's funny.
So
I mean,
Yeah. It's like $2 billion roster.
yeah.
They're the
Being a Pirates fan, I love to see that the mismanagement of like huge contracts like that. I'm like, that makes me feel better that we spent 70 million on oh my God, Brian Hayes, and then had to cut him after 2 seasons or whatever. But I mean, it's just so they need to do something in terms of like how they do in soccer, what you said in the NHL, Liam, with like compensatory picks or cash. Like if the MLB just did that, they don't necessarily need to implement a salary cap, although that would obviously level the playing field, of course. But like if they didn't want to do that, which, it's been so long at this point, it'd be very controversial. You need to make some sort of compensation for those trades, maybe from the league or picks that are set aside or like specific cap increase or something like that. You get more allocation of whatever. That way, it gives some of these small market teams. I'm just like hoping for throwing a bone out there, hoping for the Pirates to be able to sign somebody.
do you
But
think
like,
they should get a salary cap?
do you think I don't know. I don't know that it's realistic, man. Especially like I feel like if they would have done it, it would have been 10 years ago type of deal. You know?
Yeah. I do think that not having a salary cap in a way has helped the MLB, and not in terms of competitiveness, obviously, but in terms of like you have your big market teams that make the biggest revenue, and they're the ones that bring in most of the fans to watch.
The
Kind of
TV,
like
the
for the
ad.
TVs, the ads, and everything. They're the big money makers, so you always want those teams to be good or at least competitive. It's the same thing with the Premier League. Like you have your big six teams; those teams are primarily at the top of the table, with the exception of Tottenham the past couple of years. But I think
Whatever.
that's
dude.
gonna turn around with De Zerbi. Hopefully, I'm rooting for you guys, Liam.
Thank you.
I think it will turn around for them, but
Me too.
just in general, yeah, I think it just entirely depends on the sport, and I think that baseball they haven't done it And at this point, it wouldn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, like
But
in too deep type of deal.
I wouldn't mind like a
Yeah.
salary floor. Like you have to spend this much money.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah,
agree.
Like I just know the Nats, but the Nats are spending like maybe 7 mil on their roster right now. Like we make so much money, we can bump it up and sign these star players to like have people. I don't know why we don't do it honestly, but I think it would help other teams
Yes.
just spend and get some stars, and then people
Yeah.
would come to the like game. Like I don't know.
No, I feel like Milwaukee and Pittsburgh are two other prime examples of that, where like your owners are also cheap. They're definitely at a disadvantage in market and things like that, but like the owners are actively not trying to spend money.
Right.
Yeah,
I think,
Yes.
You make it,
like
like, you're making so much money. Like you can spend a little bit to keep people coming. Like I don't.
You don't
know.
need to buy another 75-foot
Yeah.
yacht. You can buy a player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead for 75 million. You know, like
Yeah.
literally, like
yeah. Then guess
Yeah.
what? When you start winning, you're gonna make more money.
yes,
Yeah.
you can raise the
Yeah.
prices of
Uh-huh.
beer or tickets because
Yeah.
people will want to come see your team. Ah,
I
it's
don't know.
frustrating.
I think we're going to a lockout next
For
year.
sure.
Like, I don't know. I keep seeing things. I don't know what's true or not, but I keep seeing things coming out, and it's like no one's gonna agree to this.
Really? What's going on? I haven't heard of this.
Like, it's just like adding salary cap, and you can't do any deferred money like all the Dodgers are doing, and like all these things that like no one's like a lot of people aren't going. I don't know the exact specifics,
Yeah.
but
I saw something about like contract length caps.
yeah,
All
like
these guys are signing
year.
15-year deals and they cap it at like 6 years.
Bobby Bonilla rule or whatever.
And I don't mind that. Like something I like about the NFL, like they have short-term contracts, and you can see like oh, I have a chance to get the star player when his contract ends. But like the MLB, it's like Bryce Harper's gonna be in the Phillies for the rest of his career. Like they signing a 50, like Soto, I think he's gonna opt out of his contract, but he's on the Mets until he's like 40.
Right.
Like I don't know. I think it's more fun to see players bounce around.
I mean, you still have trades, but even then,
Yeah.
it's very difficult if you've got a guy on a 10-year deal. Obviously, the trade market, it's a lot more difficult to get
Mhm.
trades for that guy versus if he's on like a 3-year deal.
Yes.
Like in the NBA, that's why trades happen so much because the guys are on shorter deals where you want to get the guy knowing that, okay, we got 2 years with him or a year with him, and then we need to re-sign him. So we're going to trade for him, but then we also have to like build around him to make sure that he wants to stay once we trade for him so that he doesn't leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think the big thing in the MLB though, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate and and advocate for the big corpos and the private equity firms owning these huge teams such as the Dodgers and the Yankees. There's so much more parity in the league. Like there's so many more players. There's farm systems. There are dozens of guys that could replace your guy, you know, on the field. And I don't know. There's just like not that many guys out there that are worth $50 million a year, like a Shohei or like even Pete Alonso is having a fantastic season, although I don't really like the guy. Like guys like that are worth money. And like you gotta lock him up in baseball because there's so much shifting of everything, the potential for injury. Like you want to make sure you can rehab him in your minor league system and work him in, and like they're worth a certain amount of jersey sales and advertising value. And like in baseball, my point being, like, how many guys are on a fucking roster, dude? Like so many. And then you have 30 teams, and then all 30 teams have 3 farm system teams, and then you have, you know, everything. There's just so much value to be had by these long-term deals for individual players, if that makes sense. I was rambling a little bit, but
No, I think
tough.
yeah, I feel like that does make sense. Like signing a guy for like you'll have like all that money for so long, but I feel like these short-term contracts will help teams stay competitive. Like being like, oh, this
Agreed.
contract's coming up. We need to build a team to make sure they want to come back. Like I feel like
No, I agree with you. My only point I was trying to make is why the MLB wants to keep
yeah, I
that
get
in
it.
place.
Yes, I
would
get
be
that,
would
yeah.
be what I'm trying to say. But I totally agree. I think shorter term deals, like all of you guys were saying, like it would allow players to kind of revolve. It's like a revolving door. Like Yeah, it's tough though too.
Yeah,
MLB
gotta-
careers are so much longer too, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, you kind of build a history with players like McCutcheon coming back for a season and basically retiring was huge because he played for us for
Mhm.
12 years or 13 years or whatever. So I don't know.
I also think it'll allow teams to move off players faster if they're having a bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Trey Turner is not worth his contract at this point, and he still has like 7 more years on his contract. But maybe if he had 2 left, you could even say, "Oh, hey, I know he's not that good right now, but a team might take a shot on Trey Turner for 2 years, and you could get a couple prospects."
Are you joking me, bro? Yeah, absolutely. I
up.
would take a shot on a guy like Trey Turner.
But if he's got 7 years left, you're not going to make that trade if he's struggling. Like,
Exactly. Great point. Great point. Man, this makes me want to dive in. Like, we need to do more, I think, on some podcasts in the future. Maybe a little more research on like the analytics behind everything, especially if we do get invitations from these local sporting events and stuff like that. It'd be fun to dive into it and really talk about the statistics behind the players and like success stories and kind of coaching and where all these guys came from and everything. So yeah, and I know both you, Liam, and Graham are more knowledgeable than I, so I'd have to look into it more. But yeah, just the history behind everything, where the coaching trees have come from. Baseball is just so hard, man, because you got the season span so long. It's 162 games, and then you got the playoffs, and
it's
just
so unpredictable.
and everybody, I know we're saying it would be better for short-term contracts for people to move around, but like if you count the farm system, there's so much of that happening already, and players being brought up and pushed down and rotated in and out and traveling with the team or not, or on the active roster. They put them on the what is it? There's like a short-term IR, a long-term IR, like injury designation. Like there's so many small, like it's so interesting how they probably, what do you think, roster 80 guys, but only like 55 are on the active roster. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers, but the other 25 spots, they're able to just move guys in and out. It's just wild. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to look into all that because I don't know any of that. It would be interesting to know, to talk about in another episode. But should we do football? I'm very excited to talk about
I
football.
was just going to say, similarly, basketball's running into a lot of cap problems, just the way their CBA is structured. So I think it's kind of going to be interesting to see what they do with like contracts. Coming up.
I did want to get your thoughts real quick before we switch over to football. While we're on basketball, what did you think of the Jaylen Brown trade, Leo?
Oh yeah,
that trade is unbelievable.
What the hell,
Paul
Boston?
George.
What are you doing?
We were sitting there like, what's the catch? Because we made some trades with Boston recently, and we get played every single time. So we're sitting there like, there's no way this is. We just gave up Paul George for Jaylen Brown. That's how I look at it. I don't picks. I'm trying to win basketball games. Like, what?
Middle schoolers.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I think it makes the Sixers so much better.
Yeah.
Now LeBron's coming.
He's coming. He's coming, baby.
I would not be
Braun to the Wizards.
If he signed in Philly, I would lose my mind, I think.
to get a jersey.
Of course. You have to.
Oh my God. I mean, dude, like to me, I don't understand that trade in on behalf of Boston. You're inherently making Philly the team to beat at this point. Like,
well, they missed out on Giannis, and then I think they got stuck and didn't know what to do with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he wanted to trade him in the first place. I guess something.
Dude,
but
he's so good.
From my
smart. He's smart.
Yeah, from my understanding, he didn't ask for this trade. Boston just traded him.
That's what I heard.
So there must be some internal issues that the organization had with him, but I mean, we're not going to know any of that information until later on when that stuff actually comes out. But Brad Stevens is like, yeah, he's a good player, but we decided to move on, and Paul George is a good player too. And I'm like, they're not the same. They're not the same. One guy is 30, the other guy is 36. Because on his last legs, gets injured every single year.
Yeah.
one guy was up for MVP voting this year, like carried his team without Jason Tatum to second seed in the playoffs. It's not the same. It's just not. And now Jaylen Brown's going to come in, and I don't know if he's going to end up being like the best player on the Sixers. I think, him and Maxey are pretty
Dude,
pretty
that
even,
starting five is
but
unreal.
it's
good.
crazy starting five. It's crazy. And it's exactly what the Sixers needed.
Yeah.
Like
Like
literally.
they needed a small forward type player.
And we needed someone good enough that when Joel's not playing, we can still actually win and be competitive.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think, when that's been y'all's downfall is Joel he's very injury prone. When he is playing, you guys are really good. And then he'll get hurt for a game or two, and that just completely disrupts the momentum and the flow of the team. And it's hard to, especially in the playoffs, it's hard to really get that back.
Yeah.
I just feel like you guys couldn't score when Embiid wasn't on the court, which was a huge problem because Maxey is basically guaranteed double digits plus, 20 points a game. But then Edgecombe was hit or miss in the playoffs. I think he did well, obviously still young, learning to be there. Paul George was a big hit or miss. He was either scoring or he wasn't. So now I feel like you have that player that's guaranteed. He's got the talent and the ability and the know-how to score 20 points a game. So that's no longer missing. Like that's built into the lineup, which makes you guys infinitely better. It'll be very interesting to see your record at the end of the year in the seed. Like I don't know, I'm very high on the Sixers. Obviously, I don't watch too much basketball, but
They made a couple other good signings too, just to like round out the team a little bit. But I also think people then like say Paul George played great in that Boston series, which he did, and then we got destroyed by the Knicks in the next series, and he was terrible, and everybody seems to forget about that. But
I mean, good for you guys. That's
sounds
great
like
for you.
yeah,
That's great for you. I mean, that set up the Jaylen Brown trade. I'm sure.
we're joking. We're all like waiting for the catch. Like, what's happening here? Like, there's something else still waiting to come through. Like,
yeah, it seems like Brad Stevens only saw the Boston series,
yeah.
and then just he forgot about the Knicks series.
Yeah. I think this is his like first mistake though, in a way. Like they've been pretty flawless as an organization recently, the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that they're progressively, slowly just getting worse though, in my opinion. I think there's no way you can replace Jaylen Brown. You can bring in a couple of guys, but they're not going to be at the same level. And to have two perennial all-stars, superstar like level players on your team gives you such an advantage where you're going to be competing every single year. And so when you trade one of those guys, it puts you a step back for sure.
I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. Like you said, it must be internal.
Is it? Do you think it's a
It's
money
gotta be.
thing?
No,
A little
I
bit
think
money,
it's
but they got the same contract, just 1 year shorter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because like Tatum and Brown, like you had to pay both those guys. But
But you put all your faith in a guy returning from an ACL injury.
yeah, I don't.
That's
It is
what-
still Tatum. Like I don't know.
I
Tatum,
know, but like
I think Brown is a little better right now.
agree. And I mean, I don't know, like if I'm like a GM or if I'm like a money guy, I'm like, this guy has played on our team the past 5 seasons and has produced every single season. Tatum has been hurt and then tore his ACL. Like he's been fantastic and like jersey sales are great, like ad revenue,
Yeah.
whatever, because he's a superstar player. Great. But do we have faith in that?
Yeah,
Is the question.
yeah. My thing is, if you were to say who's the better player, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, most people would probably say Jason Tatum.
Right.
But Jason Tatum is very inconsistent at times. Jaylen Brown is, for the most part, is always consistent. You know what you're going to get from him.
Mhm.
Whereas Jason Tatum, he might put up 30, but then he might put up like 8. and have like an off night. So he's just very hit or miss sometimes. So
And that's exactly what Philly needed too. Was a consistent scorer, and he's good. He's a good defender too.
We needed rebounding. We're a terrible rebounding team.
Oh my God, that was one of the most frustrating things to watch in the playoffs, specifically the Knicks series. I mean, obviously they have some guys that are just good at that, but like the amount of offensive rebounds y'all gave up in that series was atrocious.
I also think if he's healthy, anyone who come over and plays with Joel gets better or like has a career year because he just draws so much attention. So like Jaylen Brown, even with Tatum, he's going to be more open than he's ever been in his entire life if Joel's on the court.
Yeah, and you got Maxey too on
Yeah.
that lineup.
Mhm.
Is another huge threat. He's stepping into his role. Jeez.
that should come
Oh,
too.
that's crazy. I still can't believe that trade happened.
Me neither. That's why the NBA is fun though.
Didn't like in the second round of the draft everyone get traded? Or was that just like in the second round of the NBA draft? I think only 2 players stayed on their team.
That's crazy.
Yeah, everyone else got traded. So everybody went up there with a different hat.
That's so crazy.
With that.
Yeah,
It's
That's actually
because there's so many teams that are like at or above the luxury tax, so they're like essentially trading picks around to move money around.
yeah.
It's-
I don't
it's
get it.
from
It
my
was
understanding.
when I saw that, I was like, it didn't make any sense to me.
that is wild.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's really interesting. But they only do 2 rounds, 3 rounds, right? The NBA. It's
Two
only
rounds.
2
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's so funny. I like how they shortened the NFL draft this year, but like, it's still way too long
So long.
because they have like what 6 rounds too, and like
Yeah.
they're drafting so many players.
Yeah, but you only really pay attention to the first 2,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
I check my phone and see who we drafted in the third,
That's
fifth.
how he's not your GM.
Oh, Drew Aller, Will Howard, Drew Aller, Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback room. You got 20,
What a squad.
25-year age gap.
What do they talk about?
Yeah, what do they talk about? That's a great question. What do you think A-Raj and those guys talk about in the locker room? Yeah, just had my second child, yada yada, did ayahuasca in Mexico. Yeah, I was gay. I was playing the new Call of Duty, this week. I bet you Aaron Rodgers gets involved in some
Probably.
COD.
Yeah.
That's like at work when you're buddies with your like 45-year-old coworkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's usually the chillest people.
100%. NBA, great end to the season. The Knicks capping it off for the first time in 27 years or something like that. So very cool to see that. Honestly, they rolled through it. If there were a couple more games in that series, I'm borderline convinced the Spurs might have been able to gain some steam and kind of win. The Knicks rode the momentum, I think, through like the Philly series all the way to the ship.
Yeah, I
I don't
can't
know.
be very happy about that.
They played very well, but I don't know. So we'll see this year. Obviously, Philly with some heavy hitters, and we'll see how the season unfolds.
Yeah.
Any more comments on NBA, and then we'll move towards NFL, and then wrap it up on this glorious Saturday. We
Here we
good?
go football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first? I mean, we've talked about it pretty extensively already. I think we talked right after the NFL draft. Obviously, not a ton since then. Kind of just time to sit and mull it over and think about your roster and think about what you could have done or should have done in the NFL draft or trading players. Obviously, big one, in the beginning of July here with the AJ Brown thing happening. Of course, we're seeing a little bit of movement. We're seeing some court cases and some players getting arrested and some crazy stuff going on in the off season like we do every year. But other than that, like honestly, guys, not much has changed since the last time we chatted. We've had plenty of time to think about it. We're kind of coming up on mock draft season for fantasy football. Start happening in the next month or so, month or two. What do we see from this NFL season? Do we see the same status quo, the same couple teams up at the top once again? Obviously, like the Patriots making it all the way. A lot of people think they're going to take a little bit of step back. Denver's very good up there. Seattle's a good team. Philly, of course. The Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen returning for yet another season of uncontinued success, but not in the playoffs. A lot of narratives that I think could be broken this year. Some players moving around, some roster changes. But what do we like? Obviously, had to bring Jack over today as a New York Jets fan. I've got the helmet up here, of course.
So
One of my teams, but kind of a tough spot. Yes.
Tell what is it tough?
Tell me. After some down years, what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
got in store?
See, I don't know. They're starting. There might be no hope for us. That's what I'm starting to think. But I don't know. I'm in this deadly cycle where it's like off season coming around. The best time to be a Jets fan. Like, we're making all these good acquisitions. Like we didn't get any like big name free agents, but
Sure.
a lot of just to add some depth to the roster because we had no defense whatsoever last year. In our draft, I loved our draft. Bailey, Sadiq, Omar Cooper. So I'm excited about those guys, but I don't know. I think we'll be all right. I don't think we're gonna win. I don't think we're making the playoffs this year. That'd be insane. But I say that every year. I don't know. I think we're gonna be mid. I think we're gonna do better than last year. I don't know. I forgot how many wins we had, but
You guys, I feel like, have been better on paper than
yeah,
your record has shown the last few seasons. Some inconsistencies in the organization, the coaching cycle,
yeah.
some stuff like that, I think has kind of bit you guys in the ass a little bit. I wouldn't say your team has been bad the
No,
last couple seasons,
no.
which
Like
is tough.
yeah, like we have the guys to go out there and be like a decent team, but we just choose not to. I feel. I don't know. We got Geno Smith at the helm this season, so I got big hopes.
Geno Smith
Yeah,
couldn't do it in Las Vegas.
that wasn't his fault.
Yeah, that offensive line
It was
was the
terrible.
worst in football,
Yeah.
arguably last year, so that's tough. But I don't know. We'll see. AFC East is not a crazy. Well, it is kind
It
of
is
a
crazy.
crazy.
Like I don't
division.
know.
You got the Dolphins, I guess.
Dolphins.
That's
We'll
it.
still somehow lose to them.
Yeah.
They always have our
And then
number.
the Pats and the Bills.
Yeah, bad.
So
Yeah.
that's tough.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this year, I think we'll see some teams taking a step. Like there was a lot of head coach changes.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe the Ravens don't play as well. No Harbaugh. I think Giants are gonna be good.
Yep.
They got. I don't know.
I think
feel like-
Giants get better.
Yeah.
Ravens get worse. I think I was saying this. I was saying this to
Yeah,
you
yeah,
last
yeah.
week or earlier this week when we were chatting. I think Jesse Minter, the new hire over there, I think Lamar has been a veteran for a number of years now, and I think there might be some discourse between who's like coaching the team. Is it
Mhm.
Lamar or is it the new guy that steps in? And I think if Minter doesn't really establish his authority right in the beginning, like there's going to be some communication error, I think is the best way to put it, within that team, and they might not have the continued success they've had over the last few seasons. Lamar, I mean, obviously he's not old by any means
Yeah.
yet, but he's aging. Like he rushes a lot, like for a lot of yards every year, and you got to be concerned about that
Yeah.
as a coach or a GM or something like that. So I agree. I think Ravens regress, Giants get better. Um, I don't know. Yeah, you guys give me your teams. One team that gets worse, one team that gets better. That was a good example. So let's think of somebody else. Obviously the Pats I think are an easy
Yeah.
call
Too
too.
too many scandals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scandals.
I think last year when we had this conversation, I said Denver was the team to watch. So I was right
Yeah.
about that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Giants will improve. Um, but I think the team to really look out for is the Saints. I think Tyler Shough, his second season, he looked really good at the back end of last year.
Yep.
And I think the Saints have a good chance to really improve. make a push for the playoffs this year.
They're still in a lot of dead money cap hit. Though,
They are, but I think
right now.
looking at their roster, it's not a terrible roster, and I think the offense is going to improve significantly going into next season. Drafted a wide receiver in the first round, kind of to help out the quarterback continue to improve. I say that as a Panthers fan, so the Panthers, we'll see. Hopefully I think they're going to be right around where they were last year, like 9-8. But I can see the Saints winning the division this year for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Graham likes the Saints. I guess that does make sense. I mean, Kamara's getting old, but they still have him there. He's a very reliable, like just dump off pass catching back. You got I'm not familiar with who they drafted, but you got a new receiver in there. You got a couple of guys that are decent. I don't know. You're right. I mean, they were actually a pretty decent team the second half of last season, and nobody seems to talk about their value. And they're in a
Olave, right?
Yeah.
they're in a winnable division too.
Yeah, that's the thing is the NFC South is so open. Like Atlanta is, I don't think they're going to be good at all this year. Tampa, we'll see. They kind of they've been inconsistent. They started off hot last year and then just kind of fell by the wayside. So,
loss of Mike Evans.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
What's his name? Mecca Mbuka.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy good.
I was kind of bummed Mike Evans left. I was hoping he would have.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, after that many years,
that would have made me happy. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got bills to pay. I don't know.
I think he's good.
Never know. Liam, who you got? Who's your team? You got
I found it funny you said the Saints. I was going to say the Panthers.
Okay.
I think they're just going to keep on their upward trajectory. I don't know why. I like their culture. I think they have a good coach. They have a good defense, and I think that's a big deal, especially in the NFL right now. I feel like defense is ahead of the offense for the most part. I also think we talked about it one podcast like a while ago, but I feel like the star level of quarterback from when like we grew up is just not there anymore. So I just feel like the league is like a little bit more open from that perspective. Even like Allen and Burrow and Lamar, like none of them have really like gotten over the hump or gotten to another level. Not that they're all ridiculously good, but I feel like the league is kind of open, and I think I could see Carolina, especially because it's a weak division, still climbing and kind of maybe making that their division for the next like 3 to 4 years if they keep doing well.
Dude,
yeah,
we talked about it the last time too. They were extremely competitive against the Rams in that game. They should have won that football game. I mean, if that doesn't show you anything, man, and they're young. They're young, and that just gives them experience. Hey, you guys lost in a close game. Give them that hunger for next season. We see the Rams. We're gonna, obliterate them type of deal.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. My one concern is that we didn't bring back Rico Dowdle.
Yes, baby. I was huge on that signing.
He was really the catalyst for that team last season in terms of the turnaround. When Chuba Hubbard got hurt, he came in and just balled out. And I think it's going to be a big loss. I don't think that Chuba Hubbard is really that like he's a really good running back and he's nice in fantasy, but I don't think he's going to live up to the production that we got from Rico Dowdle last year at the back end of the season. So it'll be interesting to see because we relied heavily on the run game last year and kind of took the pressure off of Bryce Young a lot. I think the pressure is going to be more on him this year to kind of deliver late in games. And so we'll see. I do still have high hopes for the Panthers, but I think we say the division is always up for grabs, but I do think that the NFC South is slowly progressing, getting stronger year over year, except for the Falcons. They seem to be, but
I think I could see Denver regressing a little bit too. I think the Chargers, they have a good division. Oh, Nix, is he starting the year even? Because he got hurt.
I don't know if he's going to
Just said
start.
it. And then I
Yeah.
think Kansas City's going to have a better year than they did last year. So maybe more Kansas City getting back to normal than Denver dropping. But
Yeah. Well, is Mahomes going to start the season as
No,
well?
no.
Yeah.
I think he's out until like week 5.
Yep.
something
Okay.
like that.
But
Yeah.
I still think the Chiefs will definitely bounce
They'll
back.
find a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would they have Minshew as their backup or
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields? That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. He'll play great.
He probably will. If
Yeah,
we're being honest, like
yeah.
Yep.
Andy Reid's a great
pressure's
quarterback.
off of him. Yeah.
And they got Kenneth Walker too. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was going to be my team, the Chiefs, but that's an easy, like, kind of
Yeah.
like reach up and pick the nearest apple, you know.
I do think the Patriots are going to drop a little bit. They're going to have a tougher schedule.
Yeah.
I think that's hurt the Jets a lot too, that you had the Patriots.
Yeah.
Brady go right into the Bills of Josh Allen. Like, there's just like
No,
no
it's been brutal. Just getting beat up every single week.
You had Sanchez though.
Yeah, we did. That was a good moment there.
I do see the Titans having a resurgence this year with Robert Saleh coming in. Now you don't see it, Liam. I don't think they'll make they might not make the playoffs, but I think they'll be
better.
competitive. They'll be like 8-8 or 9-8, 8-9.
I just think they're a poorly run organization.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too. There was drama with Vrabel. We talked about it in one of the podcasts that's coming up here. One of my buddies is a big Tennessee Titans fan. He's from Tennessee himself. But he was talking about, and I think we touched on this last sports podcast I told you guys, but he was talking about the Rossini shit back in like, I think, or what was it? No, it was Alex Smith. I don't know. I forget what we were talking about when he was head coach down there. Maybe it wasn't Saleh. I don't remember. Either way, he was talking about the Titans, and he was like, yeah, dude, he's like, the organization is just not it. And
They got a new owner at one point. I think her first move was trading AJ Brown to the Eagles.
That's right. That's right. Gotta love that. Hey, dude,
Rossini gate.
you guys in the trades, Eagles.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
Yeah.
also saw people doing like
How do you keep doing
AJ Brown, and what did we get? Like a first and a third or whatever for Jaylen Brown, 2 second-round picks, and because we just traded 2 Browns from Philly to Boston.
I wish we could get that lucky.
Yeah. So I was talking with a guy who's like a big Steelers fan last week, and I heard some interesting, like, I don't know, kind of it's definitely speculation, but it was about Tomlin and why he ended up leaving and like resigning. Because apparently, from what I heard, again, this is just like speculation, but he had like a relationship with like a staff member and ended up getting her pregnant, and they had a kid.
Really?
And yeah,
I have not heard this narrative. We'll be doing some internet sleuthing after this episode. See if we
I don't know if it's true or not. This is what I heard from somebody who like
the problem
An
is
anonymous source.
yeah, I'm gonna keep him anonymous for now, but
time around the league, so it would not surprise me.
We're trying to get media credentials here, Graham, and you're just spreading rumors.
that's all right. We can cut it if we need to. I don't want to get like a cease and desist from the Steelers organization.
Mike Tomlin shows up at your door.
I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah, listen to this episode on the
Slanted attic.
No, man, like that's so hard. Like what I was saying, it happens. Like this is not like something that we do not see around the league. And I don't personally know the guy. I only see where I'm shown his media appearances. Obviously, he may be a very different guy in his personal life, as we see a lot of these players may be, and coaches. So it's like, I mean, that's not out of the question.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that also probably happens in every profession across the entire world. You just only hear about it in the NFL, not at the accounting firm. Like,
Right. And honestly, like I don't know if that had anything to do with his resignation. They weren't ever gonna fire him
Right.
because he's been there for so long,
I know.
won a Super Bowl. And I think at this point it kind of was time to move on to
Yes.
someone else. So I don't think that was the reason. I just heard that rumor and I was like, ooh, that's
Yeah, dude, we'll
interesting.
see. We'll see. I had a conversation with my barber who's from Pittsburgh this past week, and it's going to be a really interesting season because, like, honestly, for the first time in my Steelers fandom, I don't really know what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, everything's different. You know, coordinator, obviously, Arthur Smith is still staying with us. Or no, he's gone.
Yeah.
Never mind. We got somebody else. I forgot. We got a different offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. I'm very excited about, and a new head coach. So everything's new. Uh, Michael Pittman, I love. Rico Dowdle, I love. I think we drafted okay. The Makai Lemon thing was, I think, hurt us because we reached
are
for
we?
a guy we didn't know much about. But other than that, man, I am extremely excited for this year of Steelers football. I think we've only gotten better. We need to kind of do something now because obviously, like, Highsmith is on his contract year. TJ Watt's got 2 years left, I think, and we're starting to sign the young guys with our new GM's draft classes over the past few seasons, and we'll see. I mean, I think we have I think our ceiling is like 10 or 11 wins. Our schedule is not like insane, but it's not easy either. We play a couple layup games. Obviously, if the Browns are the Brown and are just Browning, we can win 2 games there. We'll probably split with Baltimore and Cincinnati, and that's 4 right there. You know, you only have to win 6 non-conference games or non-divisional games, which may be against teams that have injuries or get weaker over the course of the season, what have you.
You,
I don't know. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I have no idea. We'll see.
You think, would you trade TJ Watt if you guys aren't good?
If we're not good, yeah, I'd trade him. I
Like,
mean, from a
see-
GM perspective, from a fan perspective, I mean, he's been with us for what, 7 seasons at this point. Like,
Or
I'd
if you
like,
think he's going to walk in free agency his last year of his contract, you think they try and move him, seeing what Myles Garrett got too?
yeah, true that. It's just tough because from a fan perspective, again, we're like a legacy program. Like,
Yeah, especially defense.
yes,
Yeah.
especially defense. Like, we take care of our guys. We, you know, we typically pitch them pretty long contracts. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough. But like in today's league, dude, it's so hard because you gotta take that value when it's there. You know what I mean? Like, you
Mhm.
can't miss something like this because if you don't make that move, like, I don't know, like you're impacted for the next 2 seasons trying to pay out TJ's contract while he's declining as a player when you could have moved him a year and a half earlier and gotten one equivalent guy and 2 first-round draft picks or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so tough. Like, obviously, like, you want to have an affinity to your players, like, you love the guys on your team, but like the turnover's so high that, like, if you don't do it, you might be missing out, type of deal. So like, I wouldn't be upset either way, but I think in today's league especially, you got to get the value when you have the opportunity to do so. So yeah, I'd trade him.
Yeah, that's more too. I feel like if you're going nowhere, like if you see him in the next 2 years, then
Yeah. Yeah, obviously if the Steelers are in contention, then you're not going to trade him. But
he always gets hurt too. I'm just saying, he always gets hurt.
Dude,
yeah.
I don't know. A-Rod, number 15 QB last year. I mean, traditionally, middle of pack quarterbacks, the Steelers can make it far. So, like, we'll see, man. I don't know. I think Rodgers has a better season than last year. Our O-line's improved. Our run game has improved. Our receivers have improved. Like,
Yeah,
he's
you
gonna have,
guys signed Pittman, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
That would be fun to see. I like watching Raj.
I think he's borderline top 15 quarterback again this season.
We'll see. We'll see.
How
How old is he? 40,
40 something.
42?
42.
42, 43, something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
No.
What about the NFC North? Who do you think's going to take that? Because I feel like Minnesota. Well, they got their quarterback situation's a mess, but
Yeah.
Well, they got Kyler Murray's there, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
See,
Bro,
I
him and what's his face are just playing COD in the locker room together.
JJ,
JJ 9.
shortest quarterback room in the league.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's
Chicago taking a step back too. Actually, I feel like they were kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the
tough.
the past couple years, the NFC North has been the toughest division in football, and I think it's going to be that way again this year. I think there's not. I would say Minnesota is definitely the weakest team
yes.
of the four, but even then, I
Still pretty
don't
good.
see Minnesota
Yeah,
like
they've
being
always been
terrible.
pretty good.
They're always with Kevin O'Connell. They're always going to be competitive.
Yeah. I feel like
Um,
Tyler's gonna be pretty good this year with the
Yeah,
Kevin.
yeah, I think so too.
His offense just fits him.
Yeah.
And you have
I still
Jefferson.
think they should have kept Sam Darnold, bro. What the hell are you
That's what
doing?
I'm saying.
For not even that
My
much
guy.
money. For not even that much money. I feel like he was not demanding that high. And now look at what the guy's
Yeah.
making.
Yeah,
Just to play a quarterback you drafted, pretty much is the only reason they did it.
Yeah.
yeah. The
Not even good.
the weakest quarterback of
Yeah.
that entire class. Because every other guy from that class last season took strides and was doing very well. Like Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix. Jaden Daniels had a little bit of a down year, but even then,
Yeah.
it's hard to like reach the peaks he did his rookie season.
Yeah.
But all four of those guys are head and shoulders above JJ. So it's interesting that because not only could you say like, oh, they should have kept Darnold. Wasn't JJ like the third quarterback out of those two? Bo went after him, and Penix went after him too, I think. But like they could have gotten Bo Nix, because I think Bo Nix is definitely a
Yes.
better quarterback than JJ.
I agree.
So
I also feel like Bo Nix is just like Sean Payton's perfect quarterback. I think that's why he's playing so well. Like I don't know, like skill wise, he's pretty good, but I don't think without Sean Payton, I don't know if he'd be like as good as he is right now.
Yeah. Denver had a great year last year. I think the Detroit might take a step back.
I think their window is past. Like
Their defense is just not good.
yeah, everyone's getting older. They've like last year they weren't that good.
They lost Ben Johnson.
Yeah, so I feel like I don't know. They'll still be decent.
Yeah.
Still one of the best teams, but
Right.
I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they could regress a little bit. Obviously, we touched on Baltimore, which I love.
I think Bengals will be better.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I think so
they
too.
got a defense,
Yep.
but the Rams are just gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
I feel like the NFC is
Got
better.
everybody.
NFC.
I think so too. The NFC is a lot more top heavy. Like I feel like we know the teams in the NFC that are going to be good next year, or at least like the top teams. Like the Eagles will be back and good. We know the Rams will be good. Seahawks will probably still be pretty good.
Yep.
The Packers will be up there.
Yep.
I think the Bears will regress a little bit. I think the Lions will, get back to where they were a couple
San
seasons
Francisco's
ago.
good.
San Francisco's good.
I forgot about that.
Whereas I feel like the AFC's completely up in the air. Like I don't really know who's gonna be the number one seed.
Josh Allen. I mean,
number 2 seed.
I'm excited to see the Bills. Like
I-
I don't know like why they fired Sean. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they weren't winning in the playoffs, but like I don't know what Joe Brady is gonna do better than Sean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I also didn't watch those games, and I was like, that was Sean McDermott's fault. Like, they just lost. Like,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just like
Right.
they always ran into like the Chiefs or some crazy good team.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't their fault. Like
Well, I would say last year it kind of like of every year that the Bills have been in contention, last year was the year that they had to take advantage of it, and they didn't.
yeah, but that was
And
Josh
they
Allen.
needed a scapegoat, and so
Mhm.
Sean McDermott was the scapegoat because now it's kind of the Chiefs are going to be back in it. The Ravens will probably be better. The Bengals will be like all the teams that had down years last year with good quarterbacks are going to take a step up. And I mean, I really don't know. Maybe the Bills end up the 1 seed. I don't see that being the case necessarily. Even if they are the 1 seed, I don't think they would be my pick to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I just don't. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
don't-
wrong.
I mean, I don't. Again, I'm not like a huge Bills fan or follower, so I don't know how they did in the draft. But they didn't really get anybody in free agency so far, have they? They didn't really.
they got DJ Moore.
Mm.
I remember that. But like I mean, yeah, the receivers had Shakir, whatever his name is, was
Khalil
their
Shakir,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed to shoe in AJ Brown was going to New England. I don't know why Buffalo wasn't all over him.
Yeah.
I know.
They
No.
should have been. Him and Josh Allen would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like AJ Brown just wanted to go to the Pats.
Yeah.
That was his one spot.
Yeah. And there might have been some Rossini
Yeah, Vrabel.
collusion going on.
I don't know how they're not being investigated for tampering.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
so obvious.
yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Like she was like constantly posting stuff on the Athletic about AJ Brown never requested a trade or wanted to leave. And it was like she was poking that in, and then it's like, oh, maybe they'll go to the Patriots. It's like, who coaches
and
the
reporting
Patriots?
stuff about the value. Oh, he won't get a first round pick. Like all this stuff. Like you're actively trying to drive down his value while you're hooking up with the team he's trying to get traded to.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Because if it was the other way around, I guarantee you Philly would be getting investigated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fact.
Yeah.
So funny.
You guys already do so much crazy shit. You deserve to be investigated anyway. Howie's just a magician.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
I think the Birds are going to have a shot to win it this year, too. I feel like no one's talking about
I think so too.
Our
I
defense
think
is so good.
well, I think the fact that nobody's talking about them. That's when the Eagles
Yeah.
like are the best. When nobody talks about the Eagles, that's when they play well.
Yep.
And end up like being successful. When there's like too much noise around the Eagles, I think it gets within the organization, within the team, and then it kind of gets
It's a little bit of drama.
Yeah.
yeah,
Fan base
creates drama.
came over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think they were the only team last year to repeat as division winners. And like no one even views it that they had a good season. They were the only team to do that last year. Terrible playoff loss. Get rid of the drama with AJ Brown. Hopefully the O-line's healthier. Like our O-line wasn't good last year. That was kind of been a myth. Everyone still thinks our O-line's like dominant. We obviously have the names, but like play wise was not good at all last year. And it was also Saquon coming off his whatever monster year, which always the running back regresses after that many yards and touches.
Yeah, all good points.
But they re-signed Goddard for super cheap. He had the most touchdowns of any tight end last year in the NFL.
Fantasy.
Nobody talks about Goddard.
Yeah, I started him every week because I was like, homie's gonna catch like 3 balls for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yep. Offense probably regresses. Like you're replacing AJ Brown with Malachi Lemon. That's not exactly an upgrade. But like Smitty's really good. He's really good. I think he's ready to sign.
I'm excited to see Smith.
He's just smaller. Hopefully he can have some of that AJ Brown, or not AJ Brown, Antonio Brown magic.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody talks about how small Antonio Brown was. Homie's like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
And I mean, like, he literally caught everything. Talking
Yeah,
about that
he did.
one too. We're
And they got a new coordinator. Like last year, they were dead last in motion in the NFL. So I think they're going to bring back motion, play action, all this stuff. They should be good.
Yeah.
I guess Dallas will be good again. They're always
I think
competitive.
Dallas will be
but-
better.
Yeah, they'll be better.
I think they didn't have a defense last year, and they
Yeah.
just drafted all defensive guys. So hopefully someone.
Yeah, we'll see if
Yeah.
Dak can do it again for like the 5th consecutive
Yeah.
year. But I feel like he's been overplaying his value, honestly.
He's good.
He got that
Yeah.
He is
contract,
good.
but like Dak's been having a stellar
Yeah,
season.
he just gets hurt every few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I don't know. Any teams we haven't touched on that may be important to talk about a little bit? What about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, I guess we didn't really touch on the
No.
AFC South that much. I mean, I think it's Houston's division.
Yeah,
I mean, CJ Stroud, there's a lot of criticism towards him. I think he's gonna bounce back. He'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I think he just had one bad game
Yeah.
good.
when it mattered most, of course. But
Yeah, when it mattered most, but I think you can bounce back from that. The defense is obviously terrific. And I think they're gonna probably win the division this year. Jacksonville will be decent, I think.
yeah,
I think they'll be good. I think the Colts, I mean, we'll see. I don't know when Daniel Jones is gonna come back.
Daniel
They re-signed him, which I didn't know if that was a good call, but
they were like 8-0. I think like
they
I feel like
were.
you.
They were like the best team in the league when he was there and he was healthy.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how much they signed him for. If it was cheap, I feel like you have to.
yeah, but was he coming off an Achilles?
No, it was a broken like fibia, which is a terrible injury to
Oh
rehab.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's like tough. That's where I'd have a little bit of concern. Like you don't know, like that's like a structural bone in your leg. Like
right,
that's healing. Like how I don't know how much you can put weight on it, actually
Yeah.
play, like work back in, because obviously like they're in a situation where they need to win a couple games and they need to have a plan here. 'Cause
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson is like calling to come out of games. But that was a crazy.
I think they're getting rid of him.
That was crazy. If they
yeah.
hadn't already, yeah, I was like that was.
I think they've realized that's a lost cause.
Yeah.
They put so much investment into him, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Not anything bad, but I just that's why sometimes it is a little bit of a risk taking a guy that early in the first round, putting so much eggs in one basket, and then he was very raw as a prospect to begin with, so he needed time to develop, and he just hasn't really developed. So
I think with a new team, he might because he has all the talent. I don't think he has the mental stuff yet, but I feel like with like new coaching, I feel like I'm not giving up on him yet, but
no, and I think sometimes that is really good for a quarterback, especially like we've seen it in the past. Guys that got drafted early that didn't have a lot of success to start their careers, and they just needed a couple years to develop as a quarterback. Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, another example of that. Like Malik Willis as well. So some of those guys, it's like they get put in a situation that's not good for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work out. That doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad quarterback or won't have a successful career.
Sure.
It's just hard when you're kind of thrown into it as a rookie and it's like, this is your team, here you go. And
even Bryce Young, man.
Yeah, Bryce Young, it took him, this is his 4th year, I think. It has taken him time. Now, he's progressed every single year and gotten better, which is what you need to do with a young quarterback. And I feel like the Panthers, that's one thing I would say they've done really well is they've, year after year kind of slowly built around him, giving him more talent, more players to just be able to progress over time and just gradually get better. And they have had the patience for that.
Mhm.
Whereas I think a lot of teams just don't have patience for young quarterbacks anymore. It's either can you play? Like, are you going to have good performances your
Are you
first couple
winning?
starts? And if not, then we're just going to go with somebody else who can. And you're not going to necessarily get an opportunity with that team again. So you have to go somewhere else to find that opportunity,
Yep.
which is unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it works in the NFL now.
Especially with quarterbacks. You're
Yeah.
Yeah.
guy situation constantly. I mean, even Matt Stafford, who had a MVP
Mhm.
season, he's on a 1-year deal. I'm like, what? I'm like, I get he's aging, but like, dude just came off of a monster season, and he gets a 1-year contract.
And they draft Ty Simpson in the first round.
Yeah, they draft Ty Simpson in the first round. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, I get you want to have a contingency plan.
Nah, he's gonna say he's gonna learn. Ty's gonna be the man.
I hated that at 13. Sean
Yeah, I
McVay
didn't like
coming
it.
out and saying all that shit too just made it so much better.
I also think the Panthers have done a good job like managing the backup situation. Like
I agree.
haven't
'Cause-
brought somebody in to threaten him, or they didn't get tired after 2 years, and like you're saying, draft a guy. Like the Eagles did that with Hurts, and it bothered Wentz, which like I can understand. You're like, I had this great year, now you're already drafting my replacement. Like they brought in Andy Dalton, you're not going to play, but then they needed him to like, bandage over it a little bit, and like, but he was never actually threatening Bryce Young's like position as the quarterback of that team.
Exactly.
So his
Exactly. It
mental
was
has
like,
always been like I'm the guy when I'm here, but he's been supported without like this weird threat of another quarterback taking his job. Like,
Good point.
right. Because I think it was his second year. He had some struggles early on. And so they brought Andy Dalton in. And it was just like a nice way to bridge and like take the pressure off of him a little bit, take the pressure off like the team as a whole. Just let Andy Dalton play for a couple games. Let Bryce Young kind of shadow him, see how it's done. Andy Dalton was never going to take his position going forward, but just, you know, I I like the way the Panthers have built and around Bryce Young have helped develop him. And I think the fact that Canales came in when Bryce Young was drafted as well helps, given that there's, kind of that um, connection between them, where it's not like you draft a quarterback with a defensive head coach and then he gets fired his rookie year, and then you have to bring in another guy. You had him from the start, so now he can just build with him. I think he came in the second year because Frank Reich was there the first year. But, um, you know, just not having a lot of coaching changes and bringing a guy in that is like a quarterback coach. And I feel like if you have a young quarterback, having a defensive guy as a head coach is kind of a disadvantage. Like we saw that with Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson comes in, Caleb Williams ends up having a great year because Ben Johnson knows how to kind of build an offense around a quarterback, gave Caleb Williams the opportunity. So,
Yeah, sure. I mean, another good example is Mike Tomlin with Kenny Pickett. Obviously, Kenny Pickett, I don't think was ever fantastic to start with, albeit Super Bowl winner. Kenny Pickett played.
he took snaps. He took snaps.
Super Bowl winner. But yeah, I mean, you just saw zero development out of this guy when you have Mike Tomlin as your head coach, who clearly like is not a quarterback whisperer. So like, yeah, you appreciate seeing coaches that can advance the quarterback's career, basically.
Yeah. even like Atlanta, they drafted Penix and then gave Kirk Cousins how many millions of dollars? Like, even that's a confusing situation. You'd be like, oh, you just drafted me in the first round, but you're paying this other quarterback millions of dollars, and I'd be like, you're giving me this contract, but you're drafting a quarterback in the first round. Like that planning makes zero sense.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
And they both are not really panning out.
Yeah.
No.
But
Well, and then Kirk Cousins somehow managed another bag even after that.
What he does.
Yeah.
It's like,
All he does.
like that's all he does is just go to teams and get big contracts, even if he is mediocre or doesn't play very well. He just somehow seems to always do it.
He'll be a Steeler in 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
After
On
we-
like a $30 million a year contract.
we failed to develop Drew Aller and Will Howard. Dude, that was our worst draft pick, I think, this year. I think he would have still been available in the 5th. I'm pretty sure I've said it on here before, but I don't know. Will Howard, I didn't hate, but us bringing back Rodgers shows our faith in
Mhm.
if that makes
It's like
sense.
wasn't a good draft though, right? Overall, like top
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But not for quarterbacks either.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Hopefully he can fill the void and we win 10 games this year.
or you end up doing poorly and then you're right in line for Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
I want Arch
Yeah.
Manning. I've been talking about Arch Manning for years. You know it, Grambo. I mean, I'm sure like anybody listening could fact check me on this. You go back to probably like Sports Room 3. I'm talking about us tanking to get Arch Manning because I thought he was going to enter this year's draft.
Yeah.
But
No, I think it's good he's staying another year. He
Yeah,
needs
I
more
agree.
time.
Yeah. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good enough yet to be like everyone thinks he's gonna be a superstar.
I mean, because he's a Manning.
He's a Manning, and I just don't think he's there yet.
Yeah,
But I would love to have him on my team.
Yeah, me too. Could you imagine having a good quarterback? That'd be crazy. I guess all of us. I mean, Jalen Hurts is probably the best one out of us 4 here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfectly solid. Like that's.
I don't. That's a great point. I don't think any of us have experienced like a stellar quarterback in a good amount of seasons, like a really top tier.
At least consistently, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Josh Allen or a Mahomes or even a
Yeah.
Burrow or a Lamar Jackson, like even guys of that caliber. None of us.
Carson Wentz had a monster year in 2017, but other than that,
Yeah, Cam had his MVP season where he was just an absolute beast in like 2015.
you had Roethlisberger for 15 years.
Yeah, you had Roethlisberger, so
Yeah, and that was what that was more recent, but I mean even still he was a shell of himself like the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's fair.
when's the last like best Jets quarterback, like Fitzpatrick? Or would you even go back further and say like Mark Sanchez?
Probably. I don't know, man. It's been so long.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah, I
Penny.
can't. Yeah, it's so bad. We had Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was a dog. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember last time a Jets quarterback's been good.
I was a big Justin Fields guy, but he just hasn't really.
But
He's a believer, even
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh.
yeah, and I was like,
I arguably think he played better than Russell Wilson.
yeah, so I was excited, and he played well the first game against you guys, and then he forgot how to throw the ball. So yeah, I went to one of the games last year, and I think he completed like 3 passes the entire game.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeesh. All right, fellas. Any closing football items before we wrap it up here? We've been on here for what, almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
I
No
think
more football stuff. Looking forward to the fantasy football draft season
Yep.
this fall. I'm sure we'll release another episode around that time. But way too early for like top 5 picks. Who you guys got?
fantasy.
Bijan? Yeah.
Fantasy. Bijan, Jameer Gibbs,
Yeah. Jamar Chase? No.
probably Jamar. Yeah. I'm blanking on the running backs right now for some reason.
Who be number 2?
Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, McCaffrey
Saquon.
and Saquon. Those 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a decent year. Jeremiah Love.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that.
I think he'll probably go in the first round in a lot of drafts.
Yeah.
And he's on. I feel like Arizona's going to get every single touch. Who else do they have?
James Conner's injured, or they
Yeah,
get.
James Conner. Is DeMarcado still there?
That's right, DeMarcado. But I mean, he did nothing last year, dude. I thought I rostered him for 8 weeks on the bench.
Well, I think Devin, Arcane, he's good. Fantasy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Devon. Yeah.
Achan.
Yeah,
He's gonna be good.
He's nice. Trying to think of who else. I mean, we got Jay Jetta receivers,
Yeah,
Smith and Jigba.
Amon Ra's always good fantasy.
Yeah. AJ Brown on the Pats. He'll get a lot of balls.
He's gonna have a terrible year, I'm telling you.
He's gonna have a terrible year, and then Jaylen Brown's gonna have a fantastic year.
Yeah. I would love to see AJ Brown have a bad year and Jalen Hurts go off.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else. I think we're probably missing 1 or 2 guys, and that's probably it. I mean, rookies. Tet's gonna be up there, Bram.
Yeah, I think Tet. I think Olave will have a good year too.
JSN.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Puka.
Well, did we mention Pickens and Lamb?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Lamb, true.
See,
Dude,
that's tough though, because I wouldn't know which guy to go with. I would lean towards Lamb, but at the same time, Pickens could have a better year like he did
Pickens was
last
on
year.
top
So
last year.
Pickens is
Yeah.
on they franchise tag him or something, and so he's
Yeah.
on contract here, and he's probably pissed about it because he's not making a ton of money. So you know what he does when he gets pissed, bro. He's gonna have a monster season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The guy's a whack job, but he is a fantastic receiver. We breed those in Pittsburgh, it seems like.
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. Is he in Washington or is he still in San
Nah,
Francisco?
he's still on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
He's on Instagram.
I think that's probably it. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to our draft this year. I'm gonna win the league, bro. If I would have made it through the second round of the playoffs last year, I had a shot, Graham.
Yeah.
Really down.
I didn't lose in the playoffs, I would have won the league. I've heard that before.
Yeah. If I had made the playoffs, I would have won the league.
It's like if I didn't have Tommy John, I'd be pitching in the bigs, right, Tyler?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here running the podcast. Couldn't make it all the way.
Do it. Yeah.
Maybe not this year, but maybe down the line we get like a sports room fantasy.
Yeah, do a dynasty or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Little small league.
That would be fun.
Everybody's stacked. Yeah.
We could talk about it too, and then everybody would be stacked. Those rookie drafts take so long, though.
So I'm in a dynasty league with my buddies from high school, and so we do it like, I don't know if we're going to do it this year the same way, but last year we did like a 24-hour draft. So you essentially have like, an hour or two to pick, and then you just end up picking, and then that way, because it's tough to like do it at a specific time, and those rookie drafts do take time, and so like we all got busy schedules, so you just pick a day and then have it run the whole day, and then you have like 2 hours to make your pick. And it's tough because sometimes like you'll have a run where it's like, okay, you're waiting for a guy to pick and he's down to like the last 10 minutes, and then you got to like text him and call him and like, hey, you need to draft, you need to pick your guy, and then it'll be like in the span of 5 minutes, like 8 guys, 8 picks happen because everybody's on there and just pick. So
Yeah, that's fun. Did you get Janty last year?
no, who did I pick last year? I think I picked Jackson Dart.
All right.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Well, I was in the championship game the year before, so I had like the second to last pick of the first round, and we play super flex, so I always like pick QBs. I'm pretty stacked on QBs. I've got Mahomes, Prescott, Darnold, and Jackson Dart. So
damn, you play 2 quarterbacks?
2 quarterbacks, yeah.
Damn, bro, you should use some trade bait, bro.
No, I don't want to trade any of it. Like, you kind of need to have at least like 3 or 4 quality quarterbacks.
Yeah. How many guys you got in the league?
It's 10.
10? So that's even more difficult because there ain't 30 quality quarterbacks. There's 30.
Exactly. And I got 4 of the top like 20 guys. So
Right. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, it has been a pleasure chatting with y'all this morning. Jack, appreciate you coming over here, being in the room. We'll get both you guys back. Liam, you haven't been here yet, but you need to get a visit down here in the podcast room. Graham has been here, but we need to do it again. But yeah, appreciate you fellas spending 2.5 hours on a Saturday morning talking about sports.
Of course, no place I'd rather be.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll watch some soccer games later. Very excited for that. See who comes through and makes it to the semis. But
yeah,
who knows? Hopefully it is England, Argentina, France, and Spain, the 4 teams that I bet on, courtesy of the last sports room. It would be fantastic. So, all right, everybody. Well, appreciate you listening this far. If you have done so, check out all the other sports room episodes available on playlists on YouTube. You can find them on Spotify, sprinkled in throughout all of our other episodes. Apple Music, we're on like Pocket Casts, all these other independent podcast networks. We're out there. So thanks for sticking with us and listening this far, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Sports Room. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being here.